It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, a beautiful day in the neighborhood, a beautiful... That's too many beautiful days. Won't you be mine? Won't you be mine? Hi, my name is Fred Rogers, and I change jackets.
Hi.
And then I put on different shoes. Because it's a beautiful day, boys and girls, and today Mr. McFeely's going to be here with a speedy delivery. That's probably where I got Postman Fro.
He's the mailman, right?
Right. Mr. McFeely for speedy deliveries. Also, when Pee Wee Herman used to have Lawrence Fishburne deliver him mail on the Pee Wee Herman show.
Lawrence Fishburne?
I'm pretty sure it was Larry Fishburne at the time.
Oh, wow.
It was Larry Fishburne, right? It wasn't Samuel, or was it Samuel L. Jackson? Google that. Pee Wee Herman, Samuel L. Jackson, or Lawrence Fishburne? Just say, who was the only black guy on Pee Wee Herman? In essence, that should show up. It was either Larry Fishburne or Samuel L. Jackson. And now I'm thinking it was Samuel L. Jackson.
Interesting.
But maybe I should get the show started while he's searching for that.
I don't know how you remember these names from, like, childhood memories.
I mean, you don't remember Miss...
I don't remember. I remember there was a mailman from Mr. Rogers, but I don't remember
Mr. McFeely.
I never remembered his name.
Well, you're younger than me.
Yeah.
Oh, well, but I was probably watching it
though.
at the same age that you were watching it.
You were watching it like when you were 12, right?
It's Lawrence Fishburne.
Larry Fishburne.
Or
Wow.
whatever.
He went by Larry.
He is often mistaken for Samuel L. Jackson.
Well, because they're black. They made
That's
fun of
racist.
them. No, the reason I say that is because they made fun of themselves recently. Somebody said, Samuel L.
interview,
Jackson
right?
was getting interviewed.
Yeah,
And somebody was like, so, I saw your Super Bowl commercial. And he's like, that's Lawrence Fishburne, the other black guy. He's like, I know we all look the same.
he was so bad.
Can you get rid of that fuzz right there?
Livid.
Jared Poland, FroKnowsPhoto.com. Welcome to RAWtalk episode number 131. It's 131 forward and it's 131 backwards.
Whoa.
So it is going both ways.
Mind blown.
Blowed of mind.
Going both ways?
Lawrence Fishburne. What are you talking about?
You just said the numbers.
What do you mean going both ways?
You said it's going both
I don't
ways.
understand what you're talking
131
about.
and 131.
Yeah, that's called what?
That's what I'm referring to.
Is that a Hama Mule?
It's like Taco Cat. Taco Cat backwards.
Oh, I have an
Taco
update
Cat.
from last week. Remember when I kind of...
Race car.
I don't think Epson heard my rant. We have a printer in the mail.
Do we?
Yes, we have the C600 or something. P600. That's the one that we saw in October.
Yeah, I remember.
All those months ago that they're like, we're going to get you one of these to review.
That was a nice one.
It is a nice one. It's
How
13.
big is that? Oh, you were about to say it. 13 by...
It's 13 inches wide, and you can do a roll, which means you can do a panoramic up to 10 feet long, I believe.
That's cool.
Which we will be doing something that's 10 feet extra long. We're going to print something really big.
Hey.
I said that to the girl on the phone. She's like, what are you going to do? I'm like, I can't tell you. We're going to print something really long. Maybe we should just print a hot dog.
Just a hot dog.
Just a hot dog. Oh, I said to her, I'm going to print out a ruler that's 10 feet long, like a tape measure. She's like, how are you going to do that? I go, I don't know. I'm just going to do it.
So creative.
That was the Epson printers on its way.
Good.
For us to play with.
Where are you going to put it?
It's a little one. It's not a big one.
Is it a giant one?
No, it's not the giant one. I think we have to do the little one before we get to the giant one.
No, that's cool.
Which is backwards.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, it will be fun. I don't know what we're going to do yet.
Are they going to give us paper too and all
Yes,
that?
they are sending rolls of paper.
Cool.
So we can play with luster and glossy and all that stuff.
Nice.
Because inkjets have their place.
Mm-hmm.
Regular prints have their place. And there's a trade-off for both. I think the black and whites look absolutely fantastic on the inkjets that we've done in the
you loved
past.
them.
Because they're contrasty. They punch you
Your
right in the
favorite.
face. Like a Panzer division in the face.
Boom.
Boom. Guess
Boom.
what?
What?
It's time for the spelling bee.
Oh, goodness.
Uh-oh. Sutter ready?
Rode microphones.
Oh, God.
Guess what? They wanted me to tell you something. Just 1 month to go in the Rode Reel International short film competition with $200,000. How many thousands of dollars?
200,000.
And how many hundreds is that?
2. Or 200,000. Oh,
No.
how many hundreds?
Yeah,
2,000? 2,000?
right?
Yeah. 2,000 times
Because
100.
That's, let's see.
Yeah, because you add the zero.
100 and then 2,000. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros.
With a 2.
And a 2 is
200,000.
200,000. Math skills. And look, I didn't even need to use that new math that they teach kids that makes absolutely no sense.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Common What? Common Core.
I
Common
was out
Core.
of school by that. So
Common Core math.
I got
It's
nothing.
bullshit.
Yeah.
Oh, it's absolute bullshit. Anyway, back to I mean, I'm sure Rhodes enjoying this so far. $200,000 of gear to be won across 19 different prize categories. So that means there are 19 different categories for you to enter with. One of them is including cell phone video.
There you go.
So not only can you use your DSLRs, but they have a cell phone category. You might as well do it.
Yeah.
Just go out and create something with your cell phone and enter to win the contest because
Does that include iPads too? Because they're kind of cell phones.
Word entry shot exclusively on smartphones. It says smartphones. I bet you there's an iPad category.
There probably is.
Where
Or
can you
tablet
find
category.
out? But where can you find out that information, Sutter?
myroadreel.com, which is www.myroadreel.com. Yeah, $100,000.
You can go on to the next round now, sir. The next round of my road reel competition. So yeah, $200,000 in prizes. You still have time to see how much time is left. Go to the website. That's my way of telling you I don't know how much time is left, but if you go to the website, you can find out for yourself. I believe it's sometime in May.
That's cool, though. 19 categories?
And according to my watch, it's Thursday, the 30th of April.
Oh, you have a watch now.
We're going to talk about that in a minute. This is Rhodes' time. Stop interfering Rhodes' time and trying to think that it's my time. So go to myroadreel.com for more. Oh, and they're finally shipping that wireless link thing.
Ah, the wireless lab they have, right?
Yeah, which all digital. We're going to have to try it out when
Very
it gets
cool.
here.
Yeah.
Because it's less expensive than some of the other things. We will have to run it through its paces and see how it works.
Yeah.
And that is all I have to say about Rode for now.
Boom.
What else is on my list?
I don't know. You didn't show me.
GoPro Hero 4. Finally used it after having it for a couple weeks.
Yes.
And set it up. What a bitch.
Well, it's the app that's a bitch, right?
No, it's the Wi-Fi viewing of it was a
That's what I mean.
bitch.
Yeah.
I have to cheat the system to do it. Like, I have to tell it to pair it. What happens is it loses the Wi-Fi connection, and then you're sitting there going, what's going on? And then you connect the Wi-Fi, and you're good to go. But the preview's been looking like garbage. But that's beside the point. I put it on my hockey helmet to go play hockey in a tournament. I was in a tournament. Let me get my shirt.
You play hockey? I had no idea.
I play ice hockey. And I was on the Antonelli Institute hockey team. Here's my jersey. Smells like it's worn, game worn. And they asked me, they're like, what name? No. What name do you want on it? I'm like, I want Poland, not Frono's photo. But I got to pick my number. Do you see my number?
2.8.
I got my number as 2.8.
I don't get it.
Normally I would have worn 31 because that's my hockey. That's like my idol guy was Pelle Lindbergh. So I would wear 31. He wore 31. And then I got 2.8 instead.
Nice.
So what I did is I attached the GoPro to my helmet, used the frame, didn't use the hard case or anything because I was like, I just wanted the cleanest shot of all. And I shot it at 2.7K at 60 frames a second using the 128 gigabyte Lexar card. I had on there the extra battery pack, and I would charge it between games using that pipe bomb. And then it really looked good. The only time that it didn't look good is when I got hit and it tilted down.
And you bumped up the exposure compensation?
No, I didn't touch it.
Oh, you didn't touch it?
I left
For
it
the
on
ice.
Pro Tune.
Okay.
Limit it to 400 ISO, as Todd and I and you, we've discovered that
It's pretty clean.
Limit it to
It's
400.
It's like the native ISO.
But don't let it go above 400 ISO, and you should be fine, especially in low light situations. You've been running some of the footage already that people are seeing. I have to cut it up and do something with it because people want to see it, but it's Pro Tune, so I got to figure out if I know that Pro Tune, I can tweak it differently than you tweak it in Premiere.
Yes.
Because I know there's a separate program that you download for free from GoPro that allows me to basically do it like a RAW file.
Exactly.
And then
it's like their
export it.
version of Lightroom almost.
Right. Do you do that?
I do not know. I
Why?
do everything in pretty much Premiere.
Oh, and it does the same
It
thing?
still gives you a higher data rate, I believe.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Before we move on, though, I wanted to ask,
Yeah.
the 2.7K, how much memory did that actually take up on the card? Like, how long did you shoot it for? I'm just curious.
It was like 62 gigs of footage.
And that was a couple hours or off
If
and
I had to
on?
guess, it was roughly 2 hours. Each game was
Okay.
30 minutes running, so roughly a little over 2 hours.
That's not terrible. And that's 60 frames per second, too. So that's
Right, I did it 60 frames because it was hockey.
Yeah.
24 would have, I think because if we want to slow it down or anything, there's times where I got tripped, and it was cool. It was cool.
Very cool.
And there's photos. Oh, all the Antonelli kids came out
Yeah.
to shoot because Drew set that up. Drew was part of the tournament. Drew is a great teacher over there.
Good man.
how do I say this? If you're one of the Antelli administrators, please turn off right now. They shot 20,000 photos across the day.
Oh, I would have shot
all
50,000.
All the students. But what was great is Nikon Chad from NPS brought out 300 2.8s, 400 2.8s,
nice.
70
Cool.
200s
Nice.
for the
Very
kids
cool.
to use, and a whole Pelican case of D4Ss. We're talking 1, 2, 3, 4 in a row at least. There may have been 16 D4Ss in that box.
I wonder what kids got.
So the kids
those.
got to shoot. But then we're looking at the pictures coming through, and the first set that I look at, ISO 200, f8, 1/13 of a second. And I'm sitting there going, what? Why? Like, if I don't want to throw anybody under the bus. I don't.
Did.
No, that's a kid. I get it. Then they told me that they're first year students. I get that. But guess what? Class for the first year ends next Friday or this Friday or tomorrow or whenever it is.
I think it's today. Because
Is
I
it
think
today?
they're print comps today.
Oh, is
wow.
it?
I think so. I
Why
think it's
wasn't I
tonight.
invited?
You should take that up with someone else. I don't
Probably
go
because
there.
you're talking about.
I
what
was on the
kids are
print comp.
shooting.
I was print comp judge,
Yeah.
and I was with a couple of other judges that were, because it's all ex-students and stuff like that.
You did that a couple of years ago. Though,
I
right?
did, and
They
and-
probably get different people every year, right?
Well, they do, but the one girl's like, you just give big ratings to the ones you don't like. I'm like, no, I give lower scores to the ones that suck. It's that simple. I'm not showing favoritism. If it's good, it stands out, and if it's not, she's like, well, if you don't crop and they crop, I'm like, but that's how you judge, is based off of your personal opinions.
it's everything's personal.
It's subjective.
Everything is.
So that's just how it is. You're going to vote one way. I'm going to vote another. You
Yeah.
may like spot color, and I may hate spot color.
There you go.
So if I don't like it, I'm not going to vote for it. Anyway, the kids shot a lot of photos. I didn't understand why they weren't. If it was me, I would have been like, let's focus on freezing action. Because Chelsea was shooting and she shot. I said, guess this. I'm like, I'm going to tell you the settings I think it will be. I'm like 4,000 ISO with the D4S, 1/800th of a second at 3.2 or 3.5. And guess what?
Totally off.
No, it was perfect
I know.
for the one rink. Luckily, there were four rinks. Luckily, those settings were right for the first rink. The second rink, it was too dark, and
really?
it was just a matter of bumping the shutter
So-
speed and stuff like that.
Did they get to shoot from the bleachers or from through the glass? Like,
Some shot through the glass, some shot up in a bird's nest, which is
wherever they
above, and
wanted.
some shot from the penalty box.
okay, cool, very nice. No one got hit.
No. I mean, I have a sore spot, and I don't remember getting hit by the puck, but maybe I did. I don't remember.
So did anyone comment about your GoPro on your head?
Yeah, everybody was like, "That's so cool. I want to see the footage."
Whoa, bro.
All I realize is that I curse a lot when skating around the ice. I'm like, shit, I'm tired.
That video that I just put up is gonna be like all bleeps the entire time. Bleep bleep.
Bleep, bleep, bleep,
Actually, it's
bleep.
gonna be B-roll, so there's gonna be no audio.
It's good video.
Yeah.
It is, and the audio didn't do that bad when you're going straight up and down. As you turn and get the wind into it, it's that. Anyway, let's get to the next thing.
Let's do it.
And then we'll get to photo news.
What is
music.
the next thing?
The next thing is the Apple Watch.
Oh,
There it is.
you love it.
I like it. I didn't know that I was going to like it.
I mean, for someone that can barely see, I'm surprised you like it.
Well, because it's those glances.
'Cause
Well,
it's so tiny.
I make that's what she said. I make
You.
you know,
Hey.
look, I make the stuff bigger for me to see.
Yeah,
I
but
like
but
it.
still, like if I were to send you a paragraph on a text message, you're gonna have to keep scrolling, right?
Well, it's just a quick little scroll.
Yeah.
Or I could have it dictate it to me. It could read it for me.
Does it do good?
It does. I haven't done that because if you're out in public, you don't want to be that dick that's like listening to your watch. Or when my dad decides to call in like 20 minutes, I can talk to him on this thing.
Can't
but
wait.
that's just, I like the glances and I like the feel. It's not bothering me. Like I thought I was going to get a ton of notifications, but you can control most of those, and only the key ones do come in, which is great. So I'm enjoying using it. The battery life is perfectly fine.
Yeah. What is the battery life? Because you've worn it
All
all
day.
day, right?
Yeah, you'll get all
So
day
it's not
usage.
like the other Apple products that die in 3 hours.
Well, it depends on how much you use it.
Gotcha.
It depends on if you're using the phone on it. It depends how much you're texting. And I love the Siri for sending a text. I'm replying to you a lot of the times. My phone may be sitting at my desk, and I may be, putting gear together over here, and a text comes in, and I'm like, oh, well, nobody's around. I'll just hold the button in and talk.
Well, I can tell when you text from the watch because everything's actually spelled right.
I did. I realized that too. I did realize that.
But then there's also things that you must be like talking into it, and it's trying to dictate it for you and text.
Yeah.
And there's definitely some times where I'm like, what is he talking about? Because it's like a random word, but you meant something else.
Yeah, because I don't proofread.
Yeah, well, I know.
I could send you the audio,
you would
too.
save so much time if you actually just proofread everything.
Yeah,
emails, messages.
But I'm not going to go. You can't go back and like type it in on this. But it's really great for glances. That's the unbelievable part. It's like it will ting or vibrate, and you're out and about or something, or you're just walking down the stairs and you go, oh, okay, you just checked it and you're good to go. And you don't take your phone out. When you take your phone out, you get stuck looking. I get stuck looking at email, Instagram on this is a joke, by the way.
Is it? Because they just updated it for it, right?
Yeah, well, they did update it.
Yeah,
I don't know. Is there another update? Yeah, it just looks terrible.
Yeah. One thing I wanted to ask you, too, was didn't you say you won't get notifications on both devices, say like your phone and that?
My phone is currently in my pocket.
Which is nice.
It knows I have the watch on so that the text messages are coming in here and my phone isn't vibrating.
Because my car, when I get a text message, it'll still pop up on my phone, but it'll also pop up on my display,
well, that's
my
different.
dash.
Yeah,
it's not Apple, obviously,
that's
but I'm
dangerous.
just throwing it out there.
That is dangerous.
What? I can read it through my system.
You can let it say, hey,
no, but it's
text
annoying
message.
because then I'll have to. When I'm actually getting out of the car, all these messages are still popped up on my phone.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
No, they're well, they may still be popped up on the phone.
Okay.
But it doesn't it doesn't buzz.
Gotcha.
It doesn't ding.
So
which is cool. So here's my if anybody's looking for a watch, it's what I think happened is the watch came out and before it came out, everybody was like, I don't think you need it. And do you need it? Absolutely not. I've never had a watch. I've never worn a watch. I don't care what time it is, but I've been saying it's 1:54. It's currently 70 degrees and partly cloudy with a high of 68. Holy shit, how's that possible? It's 70 degrees right now with a high of 68. I guess they need to up that to 70 with a low of 50. The sun's going down at 7:52 today.
Well, thanks,
and there's currently 95% battery life left on my watch.
There you go.
So I'm liking it. You don't need it, but I see that it is pretty cool.
How's it charge?
It has this thing that looks just like a stethoscope that goes to the bottom as a magnet.
Okay.
So there's no plug or anything. It's just a magnet, and it sucks it and it charges it. I haven't been charging it at night because I don't need to leave first thing in the morning. So if it has 50-some% left, then I'll wake up in the morning. I'll put it to sleep at night because there's no reason to not have it. There's no reason to have it on.
Yeah.
So then I just charge it up for the hour or less that it takes and put it back on my wrist and I'm good to go.
And you control pretty much everything through that click wheel, right?
Well, you don't do that. You just gently do this.
Well, that's what I mean.
The digital crown, they call it.
The digital crown, excuse me.
So it has a photo option for it where I can take my phone out of my pocket and I can use this as a remote.
That's what's nice.
So if you set it up on a tripod and you're in a group shot, you can see that it's good and you can touch it to take a picture.
Very cool.
So, well, you think I should return it?
I don't know. I mean, it seems like you like it, and you're a total Apple dude. So,
well, I'm just.
I feel like you're
like
probably going to keep it.
Would you use one?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I would put out the money for one.
Oh yeah.
Not saying that.
Well, you would like a sport one.
No.
What are you trying to say?
No, but I would like my girlfriend's got the Fitbit and all that stuff, and
Yeah.
I know that's very similar with that too. With that kind of stuff, tracks your steps,
Yeah.
heart rate, all
I like
that.
the
So I think
steps.
for the health reasons, I would
Yeah.
like it.
Track your beer drinking consumption.
Yeah, that too.
Well, I did buy 2 of them. So this is the other one.
But you're selling this one, right? To your neighbor or something?
No,
like
my
that?
neighbor wanted the one I'm wearing because he decided to buy the other version with the small one and then realized that it wasn't good enough. But this it's weird how they shipped them in 2 different packages.
Very weird.
Like, look at this thing. I mean, it's like.
what are you doing? Are you eating a cheesesteak? Or something else?
Anyway, that's the blue one.
Oh, okay. You would think they would have different type of casing, just because Apple's very. I feel like their package is always as small as it can be.
Well,
and that's
this one came in a nicer watch.
package.
Yeah, but I guarantee you that they know exactly how many of these will fit in a box.
Oh, for
in a
shipping
shipping
reasons, I'm
container.
sure, yeah.
Like, this was much better for shipping purposes than the other one.
Okay.
So yeah. So I decided to gift it to you instead of returning
What?
it. Yeah.
Really?
Congratulations.
Thank
Have a
you.
watch. Well, it wouldn't
I
be
was
fair.
Clearly joking about the
Well, I was
gifting
giving
thing.
it to you already. I decided. Well, I'm like, if I'm keeping it,
All right, that sounds awesome to me, man.
then you can use it. It's blue. I hope you like a blue wristband.
I hate the color blue.
Do you?
No, I'm kidding. That's fine, man. I don't care.
So I figured.
We could be watch buddies.
Well, now I can. I only want to give it to you so I can send you my heartbeat. That was the only reason I wanted you to have
and don't
it.
they have like funny emojis or something?
Yeah, I don't care about that. Well, I haven't talked to anybody else who has one.
Very
So I
cool.
haven't been able to send anybody a heartbeat.
We can be like Dick Tracy. Jared, you there?
I'm
Hello?
actually giving it to you so I could be in contact with you 24/7.
I'll make sure not to wear it when I'm in bed. You're gonna be like texting me like ding ding. I'll be sleeping.
Well, I think you'll like it.
Thank you, man.
You'll download.
I had no idea.
Well, try it. Try the Nike app and try the My Running app.
I will.
Map My Run.
Very cool.
All right. I know I just took a lot of time. I had other stuff, but why don't we get to photo news music? And why don't we do futuristic space type music because of the Apple Watch? Because it's so futuristic-y, spacey. You ready?
Okay.
3, 2, 1, time for photo news. So good. That's space music. That space music is so amazing right now.
So good.
Good. Let's get to photo news, being that we're 30 minutes in.
Let's see.
Well, there's a lot to talk about.
American Photo has officially stopped publishing its magazines. The magazine sent out their last issue with a note that said they're discontinuing publication effective with their last March and April issue.
Effective immediately, there will never be another photo magazine.
Current subscribers of the magazine, though, will now receive an issue of Popular Photography. Now, if they already subscribe to Pop Photo as well, they'll extend their subscription by the appropriate number of issues owed to them. Both magazine companies are owned by the same parent company.
Which is stupid.
Yeah, the Bonnier?
Boner.
Bonnier?
No, Boner.
Boner Corporation?
The Boner Corporation.
They reported that American Photo had a total print circulation of 100,000. The brand will now live on solely through their website, AmericanPhotoMag.com. And Pop Photo has actually been in publication for like 78 years, but I'm not sure how long American Photo has been in publication for.
Well, that's because they limited their... Well, I mean, 100,000 is a lot.
Oh, it's a whole lot.
You know who does well with a magazine still?
Who?
I don't know that he makes money on it. Photoshop professionals like Kelby.
Yeah.
It's a good, like, they still ship it and they have it digitally.
When we talked to Kelby, when we had that interview back in RAWtalk, whatever it was, he brought up how he still likes, for like a tutorial type thing, when you're actually learning, it's more... You have to do page by page, like
I
step
disagree.
1, step 2, step 3.
I still think watching a video is a hell of a lot better for our generation.
Well, he was just talking compared to like the e-books.
He was talking about book books.
Yeah, I'm not talking about
But
video.
he has the magazine that he has.
Yeah.
Which, that's still cool that they produce it. I don't think... See, what happens is there was that shift a bunch of years ago when the iPad came out. Richard Branson tried to do a magazine digital only.
Okay.
And it failed.
Yeah.
I don't like reading them on the iPad.
I'm the same way.
I get Ink magazine. I take it over to the tea place, buy my $2.50 tea, and I sit there and I read through the pages like this close because I'm blind. But I like to read the articles that way.
Yeah.
Flipping through and doing this, it just doesn't seem the same. I actually rather read an article on my phone than I would rather reading it there.
Well, I think a lot of people have the same issue with like the Nook and stuff like that. How they would rather have a physical book than the reader.
Right.
It's the same type of thing. I mean, I don't know.
Right.
I'm like that as well, but I actually subscribed to Pop Photo back in the day, like 5-6 years ago.
Yeah.
And I got like 2 years of subscriptions, and it was good stuff. I still have them near the toilet, but I don't read them anymore.
Nice.
Yeah. Next up, we have Ricoh has announced their latest DSLR, the Pentax K3 II. Highlights for the new camera include pixel shifting, GPS, Pentax. Pixel shifting, GPS, and star tracking. Now, it's the first Pentax camera to feature pixel shift resolution, which uses
Eckert, what would star tracking sound like?
Star tracking sound like?
No, find one on audio blocks.
Okay. Let's see. Yeah, so pixel shift resolution, which uses the shake reduction mechanism to capture 4 photos in quick succession with 1 pixel offsets. Now, the images are then combined into a single high-definition image. Now, the final image is still the same resolution, it's just better quality. It has reduced false color and improved overall quality for non-moving subjects. It has a GPS receiver, GPS log, and electronic compass. Special Agent Dale Cooper has arrived.
He's a little sleepy. I just woke him up.
Keep going.
So yeah, GPS receiver, GPS log, and electronic compass. These help the camera record where you are, the direction your camera is pointing, altitude, and a timestamp, your favorite. You could then use services like Google Earth to map out where you shot it. There's Astro Tracer, a feature that uses the camera's GPS and shake reduction features to track stars and planets.
And what's this one called?
When you're photographing the night sky. This is called the Pentax K3 II. You mean what the feature's called?
No, the camera.
Yeah, Pentax K3 II. Other specs include a 24.35 megapixel APS-C CMOS sensor, 4.5 stop shake reduction, which is great, an adjustable anti-aliasing filter simulator, 3.2-inch LCD screen, 1080p video, only at 30 frames a second, dual SD card slots, 27-point autofocus system with 25 of them being cross-type points, ISO range of 100 to 51,200, and 8.3 frames per second.
That's a lot of
continuous
frames
shooting.
per second.
It is a lot. I mean, it packs a lot for an APS-C camera, and it'll be available this month for $1,100.
It's cheap.
Which is, yeah, it's very cheap.
Inexpensive.
Yeah.
Excuse me, Inspector Dale Cooper. Is that his name?
Yes.
Special Agent Dale Cooper.
Special Agent Dale Cooper.
Hi, Jared.
Why haven't you moved?
I'm tired.
Do you want to touch my pen?
I hope he just goes to the bathroom everywhere.
Is he going to go to the bathroom on my
I don't think so.
thing?
We'll find out. Didn't you say when he wakes up is when he usually goes? And he just woke up.
But he hasn't, had any food lately, so I think he'll be okay.
Hey, buddy.
All right. I think we should remove the special agent. We just wanted, I mean, he's here today, so we figured we could say hi to people. I don't want to pet him. He looks like he's going to quill me.
I still think he looks like he's got like blonde highlights from like the 90s.
No, he looks like Guy Fieri.
Yeah, he does. He does. Oh, that's funny.
Oh,
He didn't leave anything on your table.
Thank God.
Except whatever that was.
I don't know. All right.
Let's
Photo
see.
news.
So moving on, we have a 102-year-old woman named Alice Barker was shown old footage and photos of herself when she was a chorus dancer during the Harlem Renaissance in the 1930s and 40s. Now, Mark Cantor is a collector of old soundies, which were pretty much musical films back
You
then.
mean not talkies?
It's like, yeah, kind of.
It's like a talkie, but they were soundies.
It's like their music videos back in the day. He had footage of her on jazzonfilm.com. Now, the video description says, although she danced in numerous movies, commercials, and TV shows, she has never seen any of them.
Oh, wow.
And all of her photographs and memorabilia have been lost over the years. Can you imagine that? That's like your career and you never seen yourself? So let's see. She danced at clubs such as the Apollo for legends like Frank Sinatra, Gene Kelly, and Bill Robinson. Her reaction, though, is just priceless as she
Frank
smiles.
who?
Frank Sinatra.
Let's get some Frankie songs going.
Ooh, we actually had a lot of Frank songs during the NAB recap.
We
Well,
did?
Frank likes songs.
Well, Frank likes songs. I
Similar
watched a
type
thing on
songs.
HBO about Frank
Rat
Sinatra.
Pack type, big band stuff.
And
Good stuff?
now the time is near, and so I face the final curtain. Regrets, I've had a few, but then again, too few to mention. I say it. Shit. I mean, such a great song.
I like that song.
I did it my way.
Oh, it sounds like I'm listening to him, man.
Doesn't it? Close your
It's
eyes.
so-
Close your eyes.
Yeah, let me turn on some Frank real quick. Play.
And now the time is
yeah.
clear, and so I face the final curtain.
So good.
Regrets, I've had a few, but then again, too few to mention.
Oh, is you singing?
And then I said it's true. I did it my way.
Now, like I said, her reaction is priceless. She smiles, reminisces on her past days. She said, I used to often say to myself, I am being paid to do something that I enjoyed doing, and I would do it for free because it just felt so good doing it. Because that music, I get carried away in it. Is someone calling you?
From 405,
It's not your dad?
which is California.
But I think that quote is great.
That was a great quote.
And a side note, they called her Chicken Little back in the day because everywhere they went to eat, she would order chicken. That's like you.
like me.
That's like you.
It's a really good video to watch. She's
It's very
102.
good. Yeah.
Seeing
She just
herself.
gets so excited. It's great.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
sad at the same time.
It is sad.
Because it was like I watched Lil in the same position. It's like
I was thinking
where
of actually,
you go
I
to.
was thinking of Lil when I was watching it.
Well, everybody knows like you go into a retirement home
Yeah.
or a senior living home. You're never leaving.
Yeah.
The only way you're leaving is in a body bag.
Yeah, yeah. It's a shame.
That's just the truth of the matter.
It is,
But
it
that
is.
is, as you live longer, those facilities. I mean, anybody who started that for the baby boomers in the next 10 to 20 years, there's going to be an exorbitant amount of baby boomers hitting that 80-year-old
Yep.
mark, hitting that 70-some year, in their 70s and 80s. There's going to be a hell of a lot of stuff needed to take care of the baby boomers.
Yeah. Photographer Justin Black captured a sequence of photos of a jaguar attacking a caiman in the wetlands of Brazil.
The hell's a caiman?
It's like a type
It's
of crocodile.
like crocodile alligator sort of thing.
It's a big one.
It's a crocagator?
Crocagator. It's
or
a hybrid.
caiman.
Yeah, or a caiman. He was actually leading a photo expedition when he came across the beginning of the hunt for the jaguar.
Oi, Crocky! It's a crocodile. It's a crocodile.
Now the caiman.
Wait, my name is Bindi Irwin's brother.
Who's that?
That's Steve Irwin's son. Bindi Irwin is the daughter of Steve Irwin. He's the crocodile hunter. He was the crocodile. Crikey, look at the crocodile. Look at the teeth on this guy, mate. It's so big. Look at the tail. I'm going to go say hi and hopefully he doesn't bite me. Crikey.
Now the caiman was.
Bindi Irwin, everybody. It's Bindi. Oh, hi, I'm Bindi Irwin. I'm getting cuter as I get older. Here's my brother Joey. What's the name of the what's the name? What's her brother's name? No, just come on. It's not Steve? Joey? David Irwin?
You done? You done?
I'm David Irwin. I have a bull haircut just like my dad.
Should I move on? Should I continue?
.org.
The caiman was 8 feet long and about 150 pounds, but it was no match for the 290-pound jaguar as shown in the photos. The animal is actually known to local biologists as Mick Jaguar.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, because it eats a lot of McDonald's?
Mick Jagger?
Yeah, I got it. McDonald's. I was making a joke.
I didn't think it was funny. He pretty much treats it like a big chew toy, too. He pretty much just grabs the croc and just friggin' rips it apart.
Oi! It's the new McDonald's.
Drags it back into the...
It's new McDonald's Cayman.
Now, he says, after this experience of a lifetime, we had a new appreciation for each jaguar we were fortunate enough to see. The whole thing was caught in video as well, which I posted over on the website.
And 5 minutes later, somebody went and shot the jaguar. Fronosphoto.com/RAWtalk-131.
Now, Instagram, moving forward, has added 3 new filters to their collection, along with emoji hashtag support.
I don't even know what that is. Does that mean you can search for like
you can
a
search
smiley
for emojis
face?
now? Yeah, it's basically a hashtag. That's an emoji.
So you can search for like skull.
You could search for the pile of poo.
Yeah, you could search for
I
the
bet
pile
you've
of
done
poo.
that.
I have not.
I know he'd probably search for the mustache-looking emoji or whatever. The new filters are called Lark, Raise, and Juno. Instagram calls them modern, subtle filters that brighten and enhance your photos in refined, beautiful ways.
How many more filters could they possibly
And they just
need?
added 5 a couple weeks ago that we talked about on
Do you
here.
even use Instagram filters?
I don't.
I just do everything in Snapseed.
I do too. But to each his own. I'm sure there's still many people that do.
Oi, crikey!
Instagram is huge.
I'm gonna hit the Instagram button. I want to use Lock.
Actually, you would like Juno because it's very vibrant and punchy.
Have you seen that
Contrast.
movie,
What movie?
Juno?
Great
no,
movie.
I haven't, but I'm aware of.
Please
of
go
it.
rent Juno.
Rent it.
Juno is just funny.
Juno's so
I
funny.
will go to Blockbuster and I will rent that movie.
Sorry.
Make sure you return it in like 3 days though.
Be Kind, Rewind.
Make sure I
Oh,
rewind.
that was a good movie too.
No, well, yeah, good movie, but Be Kind, Rewind
yeah,
was the
that
whole
was
thing.
the whole thing,
Did you
yeah.
ever know Suncoast Video?
Mm-mm.
I
Suncoast
remember
Video used
Suncoast
to give you
Video.
popcorn when you left there.
Did
that was
they?
one of the only reasons I liked going there over Epic Video.
Well, we had Hollywood Video by me.
Yeah, there was a
So-
Hollywood Video near me too.
I
It's
remember
probably
we
the
had
same one.
in the
Probably is
80s
the same one. It's the only one I know about.
Video Village.
Video Village.
Yeah.
That had to be like a mom and pop one, right?
It was local at the time. I don't remember, but they had beta and VHS.
Yeah. There were so many of these mom and pop like Blockbuster type
It
places
was a
all
great
over
business.
the place.
You buy,
It was.
except the movies were like $100 at the time.
Were they really?
You had because they had there was a whole lot of different stuff. Anyway, sorry, I'm distracting you with my Video Village reference.
They say they will regularly.
And they also had back rooms.
Oh my god.
Did you ever go in the back rooms?
No, I never. I was way too young.
I was
to-
too young for the back
Yeah.
rooms too.
Users will now also be able to add, search for, and tap the emojis found in captions. They say over half of the photo captions written by users include emojis, so allowing emojis in the hashtag system makes sense, obviously. And the update is both available for Android and the iOS app. So
Can
there
I
you go.
toss in real quick? I do like the emoji hashtag support because it's like a universal language. So if you don't speak the same language,
exactly
you
what
can
they
kind
said,
of
yeah.
use emojis as like universal sort of,
Yeah,
hashtagging.
there you go. Let's see. Images captured by the autochrome process back in 1913 are now on display at the Media Museum in Bradford, UK. The photographs showcase the early days of color photography.
Crikey! I'm from London.
Oh my God. Autochrome was one of the first color photo technologies which used glass plates coated in potato starches to filter pictures with dye. The set was taken by an English engineer named Mervyn O'Gorman, which features his daughter Christina in a vibrant red dress. He used longer exposures and larger apertures to give some of the shots a shallow depth of field and
She's
dreamlike quality.
She's hot for
She's
a
probably not around anymore.
1912 girl.
The Drawn by Light exhibition runs until June 21st in the UK.
They look pretty cool.
It's crazy to think that these were taken over a century ago.
Yeah.
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 Very cool stuff, though. This is one of my favorite news stories of the week.
What is that noise?
It sounds like your window being open and...
Wait, which window's open?
That window.
Oh, you left that window open?
Yeah.
Oh.
Let's see. YouTube star and personal trainer Casey Ho has...
Whoa. How do you spell that?
H-O.
Oh, okay.
Has seen an increase in negative comments on her channel.
Crikey!
Where-
Casey Ho!
Where people have been criticizing her appearance more and more, so she came up with the idea of creating a video in which she photoshops herself to create the perfect body.
Yeah, she didn't do this video. She
Obviously,
hired her
she
production
didn't.
team
Oh,
to
yeah.
do it.
But
she has like 3 million subscribers,
I think it's like 2.1.
which I want to punch myself in the face.
So she created the perfect body based on what commoners want her to look like. She notes that photoshopping and body image, all of that, is such a big problem that a lot of girls deal with because magazine covers are photoshopped, and even people on Instagram photoshop their photos. You really don't know what's real and what's not anymore. The video literally shows her being photoshopped in real time, ending with a note that reads, "What would you change?"
That's the same thing that I say with like yoga pants and push-up bras. They
It's
are
all
misleading.
false advertisement.
It's all false advertising, but they still buy them. They still buy them.
They do. I don't mind it.
Which reminds me of something.
What?
What was that
Ben
story?
Irwin?
No. No. Darn it. I had something to say and I got interrupted and forgot. What was the story about? The
Photoshop video.
video.
And you were talking about yoga pants and push-up bras.
And ho.
And yeah, YouTube being 2 million subscribers, and
Oh, shit.
you
It
wish
was-
you were there.
No, it was good. I had something good to say.
But it's a very powerful video. Definitely recommend watching it. The production team on this, I mean,
Oh, they did a great job
did a
putting
really
the
good
video
job.
together.
Mhm.
They really did.
it had to be a pricey video to make. If you remember it, you can interrupt me.
No,
I am allowing you.
I forgot what it is.
Let's see. Our buddy Von Wong, he's at it again. He was called upon by Chinese telecom company.
How'd that phone call go?
Don't even do it. But the
If
company.
we had Gary Fong on, he would do it.
Well, yeah. Company's
Hello!
called Huawei. I don't even want to pronounce it.
It's Huawei.
Is it really?
It's Huawei.
Okay. Huawei.
Spell it.
Huawei.
Yeah, it's Huawei.
Okay.
They did a campaign back in the day to try to get people
Did
to
they?
read it, but it's Huawei.
Okay. So Huawei, to create the craziest photo he could think of with their new smartphone, it's called the P8, kind of like a cheap camera challenge, if you will. There were a couple rules that limited him, though. It had to be done with the phone's new light painting feature, which it's pretty cool that it has that. The model had to be surrounded by fire, and no Photoshop would be allowed in the process. Which I know he tends to do a lot of photoshopping because he does a lot of compositing. Now, the smartphone shoots long exposures using a stacking technique. Instead of one long exposure with a smaller sensor, which will be covered with noise, the phone continuously shoots photos over an indefinite amount of time and then stacks and blends the photos together to create a single long exposure photo. Now, Von Wong notes on his blog, in the best of conditions, fire is one of the most challenging elements to capture. Not only is it dangerous, its luminosity varies with time. He adds, long exposures result in motion blur, and the high contrast between subject and flames typically means that an amazing camera with a large dynamic range is necessary. Now, he posted a couple final images from the shoot, which include one with a model in fire angel wings, and the other with the model walking through fire rain. Here's how he did it.
I've seen fire and I've seen rain.
He lit the pillars and backdrop of the scene to make it stand out, and then used the Broncolor flash boom overhead to light the model without motion blur.
How did he use a boom with the? How did he trigger that from a cell phone?
It's just a long exposure, and he just triggered it.
Yeah, you just do it while it's exposing.
He probably just did it at the weigh-in after the flames were put in. Now, they actually feature Von Wong in the new commercial for the phone, too, taking photos of the model. The best part is they act as if he didn't have any external lighting or any assistance, and he took the image right from the phone.
Yeah.
Just
boom, look, he put it there, and there's fire breathers.
It's that amazing.
And there's fire rain. It's James Taylor, everybody.
Somehow she's exposed properly.
I mean, it's cool though because he
It is
did
cool.
do it.
It's very
We're
cool.
we're not
just
downplaying
with the
it.
phone. So
I
not
think
downplaying
it's
it.
awesome. I just think it's funny how they
totally
put the commercial together.
How did the phone call go?
I'm not saying anything. I don't know how it went. I wasn't there.
I really want to do that phone call.
But I mean, this is awesome.
I don't know what's stopping you with that. You already went after the Australians.
That is true. You did.
Oi! Because I think it's
As we already lost 2,000 subscribers from this video. Let me keep going.
Go ahead before I say what that phone call sounded like.
An old school, ginormous NASA 2,540
I
millimeter.
really wish I could remember what that thing was I wanted to say.
I'm sure you will eventually. 2,540 millimeters f8 mirror telelens is now up on eBay. The lens is called the Jonal 100 and is being called one of the biggest lenses ever by the seller, weighing just 180 pounds. That's it. Just
That's
180 pounds.
I could bench press that.
The lens features a Schmidt-Cassegrain telescope design that produces a 57 by 57 millimeter image through the 8.5-inch opening on the rear end. The auctions... I was waiting for it.
Big rear end.
The auction's description states that NASA used this lens to keep its eye on rockets such as the Saturn V, and that a similar lens was used to track and capture images of the Space Shuttle Challenger on the day it exploded during launch. Now, it can be yours.
I watched that on TV.
Yeah, I didn't.
You weren't alive yet.
I don't think I was. When was that?
84.
84? Was it 84?
Or 85.
I don't know.
or 86.
No, I think it was 85.
Now, it can be yours for just one small payment, just $33,500. That's it.
Ding.
And $350 in shipping, too. The seller says that the original price paid for this lens was a family home, is what he says.
That's a stupid comparison,
It's a very broad,
dude.
He could have traded his house.
Whose family home are we talking about?
Is it a trailer or is it a mansion?
Whoa!
I'm just throwing it out there. That's a family
Hey,
home.
I'd live in a trailer. I'd be
Yeah.
happy with that.
What about a
lives in a trailer.
wigwam?
A what?
A wigwam?
I don't know what that is.
A wigwam.
A wigwam.
You
What's
know
a
what a
wigwam?
wigwam?
What's a wigwam?
Native Americans. A teepee.
A
Oh, that's a
teepee?
teepee?
A teepee, you mean?
Well, what's a wigwam?
I have no idea what you're
Can
talking
you
about.
Google wigwam?
How do I spell wigwam? Jared?
Wigwam. Wigwam.
Now, the listing has since ended, so someone, I think, did actually buy this because it did say sold on the image. Unless the seller did it himself, I don't know. But
Great
someone
story.
actually
All
bought it.
I'm finding are wigs.
Great story. Cool
No,
story, bro.
wigwam.
Wig W.
I think you're making this word up.
No, wigwam. Maybe wigwam.
Or
Was
some
that
kind
the
of
money?
slang. or
It's
something.
wigwam. It's WIGWAM.
What
And
is
what
it?
is it?
It's like a shack sort of thing.
I was right.
How do you know these things?
Jeopardy knowledge.
So random.
Wigwam.
Now, speaking of giant, insane lenses, B&H is now selling a used Canon 1200mm f5.6L lens for sale for just $180,000 with free shipping, though.
Oh, thankfully.
they
They better hand deliver it.
They got a little funny, too, with their description. They put, in quotes, with an angle of view of about 2 degrees on a full-frame 35mm camera, calling this lens a telly is like calling King Kong a monkey. Built to order by Canon from 1993 to 2005, each lens was handcrafted at the rate of about 2 per year and a delivery time of about 18 months.
Well, then that...
Only a dozen or so were ever made. Who
That
bought
just-
them?
wait, wait.
National Geographic and Sports Illustrated.
Well, sorry. That just puts into perspective how much work needs to go into making big-ass glass.
Oh, yeah.
That they only could make 2 of these a year, and that's the cost.
And they
think
only
about
made 12 of them.
And think about how much a 70 to 200 is. And a lot of those lenses, they're not made by hand fully, but there are part of those lenses are put together by hand. How many more do they make? And think of the price. How many lenses they need to put out to bring the price down to make it economical for them to make it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Now, weighing it at over 36 pounds and an overall length of 33 inches, a sturdy tripod and pan tilt head is highly recommended. Pack mule not included.
It's not even funny. Those B&H people are not funny.
It's like your jokes.
My jokes are funny.
Hey.
So
Give me the watch back.
$180,000 though. That's insane. I guarantee this thing will be up there forever.
Guess what?
What?
Insane in the membrane.
Insane in the brain.
Insane in the membrane.
Insane in the brain. No,
Got no thing.
that's it.
Beat insane. Insane in the membrane. What you do? What you want?
So a court in Spain has ordered a photographer to pay about $8,800 to a newlywed couple after he lost their wedding photos. The photographer was hired.
Wigwam.
He was hired to photograph the wedding of a couple named Charles and Charlotte. Charlotte in
Charles and Charlotte.
Charlotte in July 2012 in Spain, who both live in New York, by the way. The two sides agreed upon a 1,100-pound fee for a digital album and 2 mini photo albums.
That's heavy, though.
It's so heavy, like your brother. After the wedding, the photographer deleted the photos by accident without making any backup of them. No mention of how they were lost, though. The couple then sued, and a judge has ruled that the photographer pay the couple the $8,800. Now, the cost was figured out by the price it cost for the couple to fly from New York to Spain again, and for all the expenses involving in reshooting pre-wedding photos at various landmarks around the city and basically simulating their wedding again. It also included interest that this money would have made since the event. Now, in the ruling, the judge states that the photographer was negligent and caused the couple serious distress. Family photos are not an adequate replacement for the lost professional shots, the ruling continues, and the photographer's actions failed to meet the required level of prudence and caution for what the job requires.
Dear Prudence, won't you come out to play? The sun is up. The sky is blue, you're beautiful, and so are you, dear Prudence.
You're really singing today.
I haven't sung in like a month.
That's why you're making up for all that.
Nah, it's just, all right.
But backups. I mean, obviously this photographer learned something from this, I'm sure. And he remains unnamed, so I don't know
Wait a
who it
second,
was.
that reminds me of a song.
That's weird.
Back it up. Wait,
Back
what
that
song?
ass up?
Was that the song? How did it go again?
Is that Juvenile?
How did it go again?
Oh, you look good, won't you
Back that ass up. Man, you look good, won't you back that ass up? That's when
You were
music...
fond. I'm not gonna
Back
keep going.
that ass up. That's
That
when
was like the
that's
music video,
2001-ish.
like
I mean 2003.
Late 90s, early 2000s.
Worst rap ever, which was just like rollin', we be rollin' and rollin'. People catch me riding dirty. Gonna 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 catch me riding dirty.
The Weird Al cover of that is hilarious.
All the Weird Al covers are awesome. His latest one that he put out was great.
Are you done?
I got one more story.
All right, because
are you done?
No, I've just been singing a lot. I hope you people enjoy singing. Do you
I
enjoy
love it.
singing? Leave
So
a comment down below what
So
your
good.
favorite singing song should be.
A new Kickstarter called Lens Packs turns your lens caps into Velcro attachments for your camera bag. Now, the Lens Packs caps have Velcro that is compatible with any bag that has Velcro-friendly lining, which is pretty much any bag. For bags that don't, there are optional adhesive Velcro sheets you can apply first. Now, according to the campaign, not having to fumble with your rear lens cap will allow you to change lenses up to 60% faster. So it'll take you from like 10 seconds to freaking 40 seconds. 4 seconds. Instead of capping your lens before putting it into your bag, you simply insert your lens into your bag and twist it into its fixed Lens Packs mount.
Which means it's now upside down.
Yes. Compatible mounts for the initial system include...
Because I put my lenses in heavy side down and rear cap up.
There you go.
Not the other way around.
But I think everyone's
I get
different with
it.
that
So
stuff.
they're like mounted to the bottom of the bag, so you
Yes.
put the lens in and twist.
Exactly.
And then,
The cap stays in position, Velcroed in, and you just kind of...
And how do you see that you're going to hit your mark? I think you're going to spend more time futzing with putting it in the hole
I agree.
and turning it than actually doing it right.
Yep,
are you
I agree.
speaking from previous life experience, Jared?
Now, compatible mounts for the system include Canon EF, Nikon F,
Look at this
Sony,
guy.
and Micro Four Thirds. They say other mounts are on the way, though. And price-wise, it's going for $28, which includes only 2 lens packs, so 2 of the actual lens caps, or $42, which will get you 4.
No, thank you.
If the campaign reaches their $10,000 goal, then they plan on an estimated delivery of December of 2015, and currently they already raised about $9,000.
Oh, snap.
And still have about 3 weeks to go.
Well,
so
congratulations.
They're probably going to hit their goal.
Well, that's good for people that want that.
Yeah. And then you want to bring up...
I don't look down on any of that. So when I say, for me, like, I think that's kind of not going to work right.
But I'm sure, obviously, there's people out there
that's perfectly fine. That's the joy of Kickstarter.
There you go. And then you wanted to bring up the story about the Orioles game.
Yeah.
Where there was no attendance.
Well, there were no fans allowed at the game, and you had the story was how loud the shutters are from the cameras, from the photographers that were there.
That's crazy.
It's just all you hear is, which is cool. It's not a bad thing. It's just you would never hear that in the stadium. I used to, when I was at the Flyers, we used to set up the strobes and nobody was in the crowd, and you would test the strobe.
You hear.
No, you hear.
Yeah. Well, it's like when we were doing the 7D Mark II when we were at the game.
Yeah.
When they were just doing all that stuff. He was testing out the lighting and stuff like that. You could hear all the popping.
Yes.
Now, also when we would do these intimate studio sessions at the radio station, we would have press photographers come in and shoot, but they would have, say, like a loud Nikon or something, and they'd be in the background, and your boy Edgar would be in the background freaking rapid firing, and you would hear it over the acoustic performance. I mean, my sound engineer would like be livid after the session. He'd be like, I could hear everything. It's on the recording. What the frig? Blah,
what
blah,
the
blah.
what?
Frig.
What the frig is what the frig?
What the frig?
Wigwam. With Edgar, man. All right, is that
Edgar,
it?
Yeah, that's it.
I want to still remind people that until May 15th or 16th, you can use PXFRO35MD at adoramapics.com to get yourself 35% off a photo book or photo books or whatever your photo book order is. 35% off. Take advantage of that. Make some photo books. Blow.
Boom.
So what time is it?
That's a good question. Flying solo time?
Time to fly solo. Woo-hoo. All right, here we go. Sutter, don't keep a watch here. How far in are we so we know how fast I need to move?
50 minutes.
How long?
50 minutes.
All right, because after this, we've got Gears of the Week and Wheel of Fro.
Gears
and
plural.
The thing I forgot to say, which is what I don't remember. Something about that girl.
Flying solo.
I forget it. Flying solo. Michael Lohr. What are your tips for shooting with eyeglasses? I don't have contacts, and it's sometimes difficult to get a good position with the viewfinder. Honestly, I don't shoot with glasses because I can't get my eye far enough into the viewfinder. Some people have suggested use the diopter, but you may not have the same diopter settings. Sutter, open up that thing, press the off button for me, please. Thanks.
Your dishwasher?
Yeah, my dishwasher. You know, I sort of wash dishes every once in a while. It's just I needed my extra protein shakes to be my shakers to get shaken.
There you go.
Cleaned because they get moldy and stuff. They smell lovely.
Delicious.
And good, Sutter? All right, you're amazing right now. So eyeglasses. I don't think there's a way around it other than I would consider, if you're a photographer, getting contacts.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of what ways around it could you have, and I just think contacts may be the only way to do it.
But you can't wear contacts, right? Because
I can wear contacts. I just hated them.
Gotcha.
Did anybody ask you? Where was I?
Contacts, yes.
I didn't like wearing them because they moved because of my stigmatism.
Yeah.
They would
like just
the
shift
weight
around
would move
your eye.
because astigmatism, they're weighted at the bottom because it's a misshapement of the eye, so that it would always want the contact a certain way. So what would happen is they would shift on me, which would cause things to go blurry.
Yeah.
And then I hated putting them in, hated taking them out, just hated them altogether. Plus, I think my Crizal lenses are a hell of a lot sharper and crisper than anything I have ever experienced.
Yeah, I mean, contact lenses, I think, is the only thing you can do.
Shimmy, shimmy, Coco, so cool. Shimmy, so cool. Hey, Jared, how do I politely tell my clients that, no, I can't go down in cost? I'm currently explaining that photographers/videographers' jobs are the only vendors whose job continues for several hours after the party. Some say, oh, I didn't think of that. You're booked. I'm 16 and I have been a follower since 13, and that's 3 years, and I've learned most of what I know from you. So thank you for the amazing content. So at first I was like, well, why would you even have to explain this to people? This is one of those situations where you just need to educate the consumer in what goes into what your job entails. So in a nice way saying, let me explain to you what my job is. So I'll show up for the shoot and I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. But the job doesn't end there.
Yeah.
I still have twice as much time, if not more, after the fact to make your images final. So please take into consideration that it may seem like I'm just here shooting the photos and then bam, I can deliver you something. But you have to understand that the job doesn't end here. It continues on when I get home. And you just have to explain it to people.
Yeah.
You gonna end the show?
What?
Jared Paul.
It sounded like your outro.
Johans Hamblund. You guys put out so much content. How do you plan and sync your schedules between each other for best efficiency to get everything done? How often do you miss deadlines for your own projects, and have you ever really blown a deadline with a client where it caused real problems? Well, that's why we have Apple Watches to sync our clocks and times.
Good question.
We go over what we need to go over each week. We have a Monday meeting
Monday.
with Todd and Steven and I, and we figure out what we're going to shoot for the week. And I text all week ideas and things that I want to do because I want to do everything right now. And when I have an idea, I share it, and I want to go to town, and I'm not happy that it takes too long and that everything has to be coordinated because that's bullshit. I just want to go out and shoot.
I want
Leave me
the
alone.
best quality videos, but I want the production to only last about a half an hour setup time.
That's what I want.
I wish it was realistic.
Well, it could be realistic. We don't really. We have our own personal deadlines.
I think we do fairly well.
We hit our deadlines very close, but they're personal deadlines. So if you miss them, now it's important to set deadlines because if you don't, then things just get pushed out. But it's also important to meet those deadlines more often than not.
Yeah.
If something can't get done because shit happens, then shit happens. You deal with it. But you also build in shit happens time.
There you go.
Frederick Alfaro, as a photographer and business owner, do you ever let politics or personal beliefs dictate if you take a job or use a product professionally, or do you simply work with anyone that pays and you get the photo rights? This is meant to include scandals, opposing political views, someone openly hateful for a group or a subgroup of people, gender, race, economical, or anything else similar. Now, that's a tough question. It's not a tough question. It's one of those questions that we face now every day, especially in some of those states that say you can discriminate against people that are different. Don't want to say that it's just gay marriage and other that. It's people that are different. So this is let's answer it in a way that makes the point get across.
Yeah.
If I don't believe in, it's tough. It's tough because it's tough because if you don't agree with something, I'm not sure you would do the job just for money, but you shouldn't be lambasted for just saying no. I mean, this is very hard to say because the biggest one that you hear about is that, a gay couple was turned down from having a cake made for them because the cake people didn't believe in gay marriage.
Yeah.
Should they not be making the cake? I mean, that is discrimination against that. It's also very hard as you talk this out because if the neo-Nazis group came to me and said, we want you to photograph our event of
keep it
burning crosses and stuff, I mean, can you say no? And then would that be discrimination? That's the hard thing to say. I wouldn't shoot that event. You wouldn't put yourself in that situation because I guess there's personal bodily harm that could be done for that. On the gay marriage front or somebody that's different, I can't see that being harmful, but some people have beliefs. This is hard. I was going down that road with this question. I don't know. It's so hard to say. I'm not saying, look, I don't think that if somebody's an asshole, you can say no, right? If somebody treats you like shit and is like, you're a dick, you're going to shoot this, you'd be like, no, I'm not going to shoot this. Does that make sense? Yeah. So would that be discrimination if you said no because you don't personally get along with those people? And when I say those people, the guy that just cursed you out?
Yeah.
And then see, I thought it was just cut and dry. I thought this was going to be a cut and dry answer, more so about you shouldn't.
Doesn't everyone have the right to refuse service? Do you have to give a reason? Can't you just say no and just leave it at that?
I think that, yes. I think
as long as you don't bring in
as long as you don't say
subject,
like, no, I don't believe in gay marriage.
You just say no.
You just say, no, I'm already booked, or I can't do that. But then that's the whole... it's a hard answer.
It's a very hard answer.
I just also think that That's a hard answer. I got to move on. I really don't know. I talk that out. That's a very hard thing to even figure out.
Yeah.
Because you have it if somebody came to you and they absolutely were like I don't even think any way that I put this was going to give an answer because it's
subjective.
Well,
Almost.
I don't think that you should.
Subjective.
I don't think you can say. I mean, I think if you're going to turn something down, we'll say in the gay marriage aspect of it, or in any aspect of it, you just say no, I'm not available, and you leave it at that. And then hopefully the people aren't like, oh, is it because I'm gay? Is it because I'm black? Is it because I'm white? Is it because I'm Asian? You know, hopefully it doesn't go there. You just say I'm not available.
Yeah.
And hopefully it's not getting pressed any further, and you just say, okay, they're not available. Don't press somebody, and don't give anybody a reason the other way. Because you wouldn't shoot something you didn't believe in, you know, most likely.
Yeah.
And I'm not, it's, I got to move on.
Yeah.
I hope I didn't, I think I did that okay.
It's a hard answer.
It's a hard answer because
Yeah.
I thought it was going to go one way and the other way because I'm totally for photographing just about anything.
Yeah, me too.
But when you bring up, and I know that's a far-fetched statement to say the neo-Nazis or something, or the KKK or something like that.
It's a far-out example, but
I mean, what if you don't believe in tattoos?
it's true. Yeah.
You're not a tattoo fan because you're a Hasidic Jew and tattoos or something means something that can't have them yourself.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't always have to come down to race or any of that.
It seems like it has to.
I'm just saying.
It seems like
you
it
said
does,
with tattoos,
though. Right?
Yeah.
But I mean, that's another thing. What if tattoos repulse you and you
like,
say no
do the
because I
little
don't
things
believe in
count just
tattoos?
as much as the big things?
I don't know. It's hard to say.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Yeah.
Could you give a rough breakdown of how much? Oh, this is for Steven from
Which
the
one?
same guy.
For me?
Eckert.
Okay.
Could you give a rough breakdown of how much time you spend on each stage of RAWtalk video editing from import to publishing? Where does most of the time disappear? And what do you see as the next step in hardware software to speed up your workflow? Big thanks from Sweden for your show. Coming here soon, ? Johannes. Us.
Next step, I'll start with that on speeding up the workflow would probably be, because I already got my GPU upgraded. I've got my main SSD upgraded, my hard drive. I've got plenty of RAM and CPU processing. There's not much I can do on that end. I mean, the next step will be just to get a whole new machine, computer in general. Once my computer's getting around 4 years old, but I've done so many upgrades that it still works brand new. Because now Premiere CC, for example, which is what I use to edit RAWtalk, that fully utilizes the CUDA cores in the GPU that I have. So basically, it uses more my GPU than my CPU when rendering. Anyway, back to how long it takes me. The importing process takes a decent amount, but I do have that Lexar hub. I would say altogether we have about 5 different memory cards and the Atomos hard drive. Importing time probably takes roughly an hour to maybe import, categorize, organize all of that stuff. Then I do the Adobe Audition for audio. I do that first. I do the mix down for that and make sure all the levels are correct and do my processing, compression, and export into one single stereo wave. That probably takes that could be up to 2 hours because I usually will normalize all the levels, go in there and also cut out stutters in between microphone moments so there's not much of a room tone going on the entire time. We don't sound as reflective. And then we import everything into Premiere Pro, which does the background transcoding. That probably takes just the import process, maybe, 10, 15, 20 minutes. Then we start the actual multicam edit, line everything up, sync everything, nest it, start the multicam. The longest part is probably actually cutting everything once you're multicamming. That probably takes me a good 4 to 5 hours. That's the biggest process right there. And then I do all the color correcting and polishing at the end. I make sure the angles are straight, crop if I need to, so our angles match. I add contrast, brightness, whatever it needs to be, the fast color corrector for white balance, and then I export. Altogether, I would say it's about probably a 10-hour process, maybe 8 to 10 hours, depending on how long our podcast is. But it's long. It takes a while. And then the export probably takes 3 hours, depending on how much actual edits I do to each video. But yeah, it's a lot of footage. It usually comes down to nearly 200 gigs of footage a week. So
Damn.
it's a long explanation, but I wanted to make sure I was thorough with it.
You got it.
Yeah.
David King, how do you deal with a customer that wants something you don't want to give them? Imagine if a hooker didn't want to give something. No, I will not do that. Well, maybe you're in the wrong
but you're a
profession.
hooker.
So many people love to ask for things like Dutch angles and selective color, and I typically just say, I don't do that. But at what point do you just give the customer what they want? So this is another tough thing.
That is a tough thing.
I wouldn't shoot a Dutch angle if anybody asked me to shoot a Dutch angle. It wouldn't happen. I don't do selective color either.
I mean, honestly, I'll do whatever the client wants, to be honest. Not anything. But,
Whoa, how much?
the second I said that, I looked at Jared, and he's...
Hey,
His eyes lit up and everything.
Ding, ding, ding.
But yeah, I mean, that's me personally.
Here's what I always say about customers: they tell you what they think they want, and they don't.
Right.
And they don't know. No, the customer's not always right, and they don't know. They tell you what they want, but they don't know what they need. As a photographer, it's your job to listen to that and shake your head and go, and then I'm going to do whatever the hell I want. Make sure you give them what they ask for, but also what they need.
AKA safe shots and then your shots.
Right. I would not do selective color, though. And I wouldn't do a Dutch angle. And I'm not going to get in an argument over it. It's just like when somebody says, can you touch up their photograph? And then they want every single photograph touched up, but that's their face. Your face is your face is your face.
Yep.
Making it not your face, that's why I don't do any Photoshop. I tell people, I don't do Photoshop. It's one thing if you've got like a pimple or something that showed up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right?
simple like spot removal
I do
stuff.
I do that kind of stuff and smoothing, but I don't go
I don't do
nuts.
smoothing. I don't. Your face is your face. That's just what I do.
It depends what type of image it is, but if it's a portrait or if it's a wedding formal shot
No,
or whatever.
it's their face.
Okay.
Yeah, but if the light's harsh
Yeah.
and it's like...
That's your fault for making it harsh.
Not particularly. A little softening never hurts. I mean, I feel like... Ooh.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Oh man.
Oh, I've dealt with this. I've dealt with this a little. This is a continuation. I've dealt with this a little with web contract, where I typically just do what I know for the customer needs instead of the buzzwords they ask for about what happy with the results. Is this something that's viable in photography? Just take the shot and shoot and edit the right way. I don't know, man. It just drives me nuts. Okay, good. I'm glad.
I mean,
read
basically,
that.
if I can do the shot that they're asking for, I would. If it's not like some CGI crazy composited photoshopped image,
Oh yeah.
which I can't do. But if they ask for something normal that they want, or at least they hint at it, I'll try and get that out of the way for a safe shot, and then I'll go into creative mode and do my thing.
Doug Colette, on a scale of 1 to Burt Reynolds, how would you rate Sutter's mustache today?
Oh man!
On a scale of 1 to
pretty-
Burt Reynolds.
pretty
Who is that
fresh.
from?
This is from somebody named Dougie Colette.
I didn't even put out
Dougie.
there I had a mustache.
Well, I wasn't
Okay.
going to put this question in today until I looked at your face.
I mean, Sutter's got a serious fresh mustache going on.
It's not Burt
like-
Reynolds. It's more like Wyatt Earp.
It's
a
more like
Ron Swanson.
oh, that's a good.
Who's Ron Swanson?
Parks and Rec.
Never watched it.
He's the most American man I know.
It's not Burt Reynolds. Burt Reynolds was much nicer than that.
Oh, damn. I don't even know
Sorry,
who
it's
that is.
Burt
I would say Ron Swanson.
He doesn't know who Burt Reynolds
I'll find
is.
out. Hold on.
Oh, I think I don't know what that is.
No, he doesn't know who Burt Reynolds is. Good question. David
Good question.
Roththorn.
Oh,
Well,
okay. I know who that is.
I picked that question only after looking at his face
Yeah,
today.
yeah.
Because if he had a beard, I wouldn't have done it.
Yeah.
David Rawthorn. Ooh, Rawthorn. How do you pick the flying solo questions? ? I see the same question over and over when you ask for them, but is it something unique, something that has been asked multiple times and people simply don't get, or just random? It's absolutely not random, and it's absolutely not the same questions that you see all the time, because you realize I don't answer the same questions mostly
You have been
all the time.
really
This
good
is
with
probably the most unique question I've seen.
Yeah, right?
Well, so you're asking how do I pick it? I read the question. My mustache got stuck. My Burt Reynolds got stuck. I read the question, and if I think that it's a good question to read on air, then I will read it on air. I'm not looking for. What one lens would you use if you only could use one lens ever?
If you were on a deserted island.
Just the questions like, if you could photograph one person in history, who would it be? You know, we've gotten a lot of that. Or I have $500. What should I buy?
And some of them, don't get me wrong, they are interesting questions. It's just we have answered them several
Yes.
times. And
I highly suggest that you go back, a lot of you guys, and listen to all the RAWtalks.
if you have 131 hours, no, that'd be more than that. That'd be double, yeah.
Yeah, it's like
261 hours.
it's a lot of
free.
hours of hours.
Yeah, a couple weeks free of time, then watch all the RAWtalks.
Nick Montgomery, what do you bring to eat on long shoots other than nuts? Peanut butter crackers are a definite. Since I was a kid, peanut butter crackers have always been in my bag, especially on a wedding shoot. Protein, 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 protein. The more protein you can pack into your body when you're on a shoot, and for especially a long wedding, you got to remember for wedding days.
Yes.
Lances are not what you should eat.
They're the best crackers. Way better than, what do you have? What are the ones?
Austin crackers.
That tastes like they're stale.
They don't taste stale.
What's better, Austin or Lance peanut butter crackers?
What do you guys like, Austin
Comment
peanut
below.
butter crackers or Lance? Leave a comment below. Lances are too crackery. They're not soft enough. They don't crumble in your... They're crunchy. Exactly. Terrible.
They're not stale, that's why.
Oh.
Is it Papa Duke's?
Yes.
Let me answer from my watch.
Hello, this is Jared's watch. We're recording RAWtalk again while somebody's calling.
Well, that's my job. My job is to always interrupt your RAWtalk.
Can I call you back?
You can always call me back. Whether or not I decide to pick up is another story, but certainly you may try.
All right. Dick Tracy out. All right. I said Dick Tracy out.
Okay, I'll see you later.
And there it is. My dad calling during the show.
Typical.
Protein is where it's at. If you can pack protein, especially on weddings, you are shooting all day with not a lot of food. And when they finally do feed you, a lot of times they feed you sandwiches that suck, unless you eat actual wedding food, which sucks anyway, usually, too. So just pack a lot of protein. When you're on shoots, protein, protein, protein. Don't drink Gatorades. Don't drink sugary things. Don't do Red Bull.
Don't do everything I do.
Don't do all the bad stuff that will slow you down and make you crash. I don't do 5-hour energies and all that crap. I just power through protein, fruits, nuts, protein.
Gatorade, Red Bull,
no
Monster.
Okay, whatever. Monster
Beer,
water.
cigarettes.
Brian Zalewski. Being that nowadays it's very hard to make a living as a photographer full time, I notice many photographers now making YouTube channels and also adding
does
various
that?
types of merch to create additional cash flow streams. I don't understand small, like who's gonna buy like a photographer's merch on a small scale. But you know what I mean, like a.
Well, you mean
it depends.
You mean like someone photography,
right? Like some
Steven Sutter photography,
Steven
shirt
Sutter
or
photo
something.
shirt. Which whatever
Yeah.
happened
I mean, yeah,
to your
'cause
I just
shirt
stopped.
company?
It actually was doing well.
What was it called?
Get Slick.
Yeah. Why did you get rid of Get Slick?
It was actually working, and then I just kind of was like,
I didn't even know he had a
I don't
shirt
really like
company.
doing it. It was annoying to make all the shirts all the time. I was overwhelmed by making the shirts, and I just stopped.
You were screen printing them yourself?
Yeah, I was doing it all
Dude,
myself.
Outsource properly.
But I could make more money doing it myself.
But you just said you got overwhelmed and you quit, which means you failed.
Nah, I wouldn't say failed. I dismissed.
You got overwhelmed. You said you would make more money, but at some point in business, you need to determine where is your time better spent. You could have outsourced it. Maybe you would have made less money, but maybe you would have started to sell more because your time could have been freed up to make videos about Get Slick and put Inspector Dale Cooper on the freaking shirt that said Get Slick with his hair slicked back. And then, wow, you could have had a top seller. And in the end, you would have made more money and not failed. And that's the moral of the story. I'm not actually yelling at you, but does that make sense?
No, I mean,
Butters?
It's all, it makes sense. You're right. I wasn't enjoying it, and I'd rather spend my time taking pictures than selling t-shirts.
Do you realize if you outsourced it and had somebody else doing that stuff, you could have spent your time taking pictures?
I get it. Believe me, I'm not saying you're wrong. You are actually very right. I didn't.
So you
I
need to
stopped.
start Get Slick again.
Should I?
I can put you in contact with my printers.
Maybe.
Who are
I'll
local.
look into it.
Which means they can drop stuff off here because he's not in Jersey, but he will drop stuff off here.
Sure.
And you can get the shirts. Your costs, this is what I did when I started selling I Shoot Raw shirts. I never printed them myself. My costs were up. I may have only made $3 or $4 or less per shirt when I was selling them for $11.99. Mm-hmm. But I just knew that if I sold more and more, I could buy more at a time, which would bring my
Get your
price
costs
down.
down.
And then there I go, blah, 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 business today. I'll start over again from the top. Welcome to RAWtalk.
First question.
First question. Before I was interrupted by myself. Brian Zalewski, being that nowadays it's very hard to make a living as a photographer full time, I noticed many photographers are now making YouTube channels and also adding various types of merch to create additional cash flow streams. Do you feel this market of being another photographer with a channel and merch is becoming saturated? And do you find it becoming more difficult to stand out above the rest? What would your recommendations recommend to newer photographers? If you have something to say, put it out there into the world and say it. If it's quality content and people it resonates with people, you're going to pick up a following. I don't care how many photography channels there are out there. There were a bunch of them when I started, and there's less of them now. There's also a lot of photo websites around, and I think in the next 4 years, you're going to see a bunch of these photo websites starting to fall off. Why are photo websites and a lot of other websites going to fall off? Because they haven't adapted with the time, and they're just written content only, and we live in a very video-centric world right now. I've been there for 5 years pushing video, with Facebook video crushing the shit out of stuff, with just the video in general. You've got your Snap Stories, your Snapchats, you've got your YouTubes, you have all of these options. We put up a Facebook video 2 days ago.
Yes.
Of the
quick tip
for how to, I'm very
how to get your line straight kind of thing.
Well, it was get your line straight, and if I used how to get your line straight, which I did on YouTube, which it got a good amount of views, the problem is it's not catchy enough. You want to talk about clickbait?
It's not clickbaity.
It has to be a catchy headline, which has been the case since the dawn of newspapers. It has to have a catchy, Titanic sinks. It's a catchy headline. The unsinkable ship sinks. It's a catchy headline, right? You need to grab people. So I ended up doing something with I'm so frustrated, all caps frustrated, with seeing people shoot photos like this. What other positions have you seen photographers shoot in? And then I uploaded the video, and it's been seen by almost 400,000 reach organic, and the video has 117 to 118,000 views on it. Where on YouTube it has 13,000.
Yeah.
It has 880 some shares.
Yeah.
Which when stuff gets shared, the virality of it there, and if you want to talk about numbers, I'm generally adding between 500 and 600 likes a week to the Facebook page without doing it just organically. Right now it's at 2,000 likes for this week, which you can say I added 1,400 to 1,500 new people because of the viral aspect, the reach.
The virality of the video.
I like saying virality, but the organic reach, because you see organic reach has almost 400,000, paid reach, 0.
That's insane.
Because I didn't pay, yes.
Back to the catchy title thing. I was thinking about it for a second. I remembered this title I read the other day. It's Uranus takes a pounding more frequently than thought.
Oh my God.
Is that Vice?
No, it's
or
actually
IFL.
It's like a Cosmo sort, or not Cosmo, like a Cosmos sort of thing.
Yeah.
It's literally about the planet, and
but
the caption underneath was on a Tumblr post. It was, "This reporter has waited their whole lifetime to say this,"
and that's going to get shared a lot.
Oh, totally. Great.
The thing that separates clickbait from a catchy title is substance and delivering. If you have a catchy title that doesn't deliver, that's clickbait because you just had people click on it. Now, if it has a catchy title that is part of something that you're talking about and it delivers, that's not clickbait.
Well, I think also help asking the audience for what positions they've been into and that kind of stuff. Just asking for their feedback really helps out on those type of posts.
Here's
on
what made
Facebook as well.
Right. Well, yes, because that gets people to interact and then share.
And then
but where it was
news
successful was, I get so frustrated with X.
Oh, I'm sure.
And I didn't answer. I didn't say I get frustrated with people getting their lines not straight because that gives it away in the headline. So,
I'm sure that was the majority of the reach, but I'm just saying I think that also really helps too with the feedback of that type of community.
I don't have a problem with photographers starting YouTube channels. I'm all for people starting YouTube channels. I think you should focus on Facebook video and YouTube video and just be at the forefront of it. Just do it. Mm-hmm. Lucas Seaweir, change the brand or not? With my wife, we've been doing mostly wedding/portraits/families, but recently we are doing a lot of product and commercial projects as well. Should we change the company name? Maybe create a separate division? Or maybe customer doesn't care about name if it's simple to remember? Any ideas? Welcome. Thanks. Jeremy X. Lewis. No, that's the next guy. Thanks, Lucas. That's the next question. If something's working, why change it? And I'm not all for multiple divisions of things. If people are finding you and your name is this, is whatever it is, I wish you would have told us what the name was and what you were thinking of doing. but why break a good thing? So you shoot family portraits and weddings and stuff like that, but people are hiring you for commercial. They're hiring you already.
Unless it's like blank blank wedding photography.
Yeah,
right.
yeah, something.
And at that point, then just make it blank blank photography.
Yeah.
And just go from blank blank photography. Click,
Yeah.
click, boom.
Curious what the name was.
Click, click, boom. All right, we've got a rapid fire here. It starts down here, Jeremy X. Lewis, and then goes on to the next page.
All right.
For those who don't know, rapid fire is when people send in this or that, 5 questions.
Let's see. Cheesesteaks or hot dogs?
Well, I haven't eaten a hot dog since I was about 3.5 and got a bad one, and I don't eat cheesesteaks. I get plain steaks without a roll, and the best place in Philly that I think to get is a steak. Hey, did you like your cheesesteak? You did? It was very good, right?
Well,
Sorry, your steak with cheese?
Where'd you go?
Did you get a true Philly cheesesteak?
Whiz or Wit? Right?
It was
Whiz or without?
It was
Whiz or Without?
Well, it was without wit.
Wit or
Is
without?
that what it is?
American cheese. Well, the way that they had it. What did I get a real one? I went to Steve's Princess Steaks.
Okay.
I like Steve's.
Yeah.
I don't. Jim's is okay.
It's
I don't-
usually Steve's or Jim's, I feel like,
well,
for the most part.
No, it's Geno's or Pat's.
I'm saying for the locals.
Oh, well, the locals, I've heard a bunch of different ones, but the reason I like Steve's is they do these long slices of meat, and it's just really juicy and tasty meat.
I can't stand Geno's. It's just a
It's fat,
piece of
right?
fat slabbed on there.
Right.
Yeah.
So I like Steve's. Go to Steve's, Prince of Steaks. They also have good fries.
There you go. Haley Williams or Katy Perry? That is a tough one. Oof.
Dang.
Oh, man. That's really tough.
Avril? No, damn. Maybe Katie. More closer to the same age.
I think Katy, I would say too, but I don't know. That'd be tough. If you had one light modifier, what would it be?
A Gary Fong dome.
Which of the Stevens would win a wrestling match?
Eckert.
Well, I've got about 70 pounds on
I've
set.
wrestled my whole life, man.
Well, funny that you ask.
I'll just sit on them.
Funny that you ask.
Fight!
I'll give you a nosebleed.
Tag
Yeah,
me
right.
in. Tag me in.
Go! Tag team! Let's see. Only allowed to shoot Lytro or not shoot at all?
Dang.
Jeez. I would shoot the Lytro because I have to shoot. I would want to shoot. I want to do a good job with no matter what I have.
Can you do video on Lytros?
No.
That
Not
would be
yet.
cool. If you
Maybe
could start pulling focus
You can't.
The
after the
successor
It
fact.
takes too much power
the
and
Illum.
horsepower. I've asked this question. It takes way too much processing power because it's a light field image 24 times a minute.
Too much
A
horsepower?
second, 24 minutes a second.
Because that
24
would be
times a
like
second.
the all-time done thing. You just shoot it, forget it, and then do it later.
No, that's why you buy a Red Rock Micro Halo.
Yes.
Because that basically does what you're saying on today's camera.
yeah.
It's great.
Gavin Otter.
I'm sure he's gotten that before.
Never. I got Poland. Whoa, what are you, a country?
What are you, a drugstore? Ecker Drugs?
I also got Molin.
Mole?
You can't see the mole.
Is that why you have a beard?
No.
Mole. Mole?
But yeah, my one friend used to call me Molin. He's like, whatever, Molin. Like, you fucking asshole.
Some people call me Butter.
Butter.
Butters.
Butters, that's great.
Gavin Otter. You use the Rode Broadcaster for RAWtalk.
Yes, we
but what
do.
advantages do you get from using them over the wireless microphones that you use in the other videos? Also, will you be reviewing the new Rode wireless system in the future? Yes to the Rode wireless system, and I give you, Eckert, the question from the beginning.
Well, first thing, these are wired microphones, XLR input mics, which are great. The one big thing, the big difference is that there's no interference. We don't have to worry about certain frequencies being full, especially us being in the middle of the city, busy highway right next to us. We don't have to worry about that. Like NAB, where we couldn't find an open frequency with the lav microphones we were using, where there's interference coming in and out. The other thing is these are large diaphragm microphones. They just sound much better. They're end-address mics. They're not the omnidirectional microphone that a lav microphone typically is.
I mean, you can hear the difference between when you go back 2 episodes to NAB, when we're in the room.
Yeah.
with Todd, you and I, and versus when we come back and we're talking with these. These are full.
Well, and because, like I just said, the lav microphones are typically the omnidirectional mics, so they're picking up the entire room. When you have 3 of them paired together, they're going to be a lot more reflective than what we're using here.
And you have to also think about the size of what's going in
like
here.
I said, the large diaphragm microphones.
Exactly.
Yeah, the capsule itself is much bigger. The dynamic range is much bigger and better overall.
I want HDR audio.
And you get this nice sounding radio voice type effect, proximity effect.
Coming up next on Boom 1079, we've got your latest hip hop on Boom 1079. Yesterday's hip hop is today's new music without the curses. Here we go with Ja Rule. No, here we go with. Coming up next on Boom 1079, we've got the Raw Man himself, ODB, formerly known as Sweet Baby Jesus, who then switched his name back to ODB, which stands for Old Dirty Bastard, here with Shimmy Shimmy Ya. Yeah. Shimmy Yimmy Yaw, Shimmy Yeah, Shimmy. Oh, I sounded like Shaggy. Give it a Shaggy.
What happened to Shaggy, man?
He made a lot of money and got fat.
Yeah, it's probably true.
All right, Tanyada. Tayona,
Toyota?
Tayonna. Tayona.
Tanya?
No.
No, I
the
can't
N would
see
have
it.
to be there somewhere
What
else.
is it? T-A what?
Tayonna.
Tayona, yeah.
Tayona cat. Tayona. Wigwam.
You're so confident. You don't know how it's pronounced.
It's Tayona. Tayona.
Okay.
That's if we sounded it out. Correct. What I'd like for the future Flying Solo questions, which I have to ask, is please phonetically spell your name at the very end, because I'd love to read them and then read the phonetic sound at the end. What are your thoughts about soft proofing images? And I've never even heard that term, to be honest. And letting the client pick their favorites and then fully retouching them, versus the photographer picking the best shots and fully editing them before the client sees them. Do you think one leads to more sales versus the other? Would you still edit and use the images on your website if the client didn't choose it, but you blah, 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 blah? The moral of the story here is you do not deliver anything that you do not want to deliver. I would not let the customer pick the photos that they want from all of the photos that I took. I am going to deliver the best of the best of the best with honors, sir, and then let them pick from there if they want to do that. Never, in my opinion, give unedited images, because as soon as you deliver those unedited images,
Well, they're
going to
soft
start.
edited, is what he's saying.
Yeah.
They're like kind of there, but
They're
not
proofs.
retouched.
It's like soft sex. It's not very easy, and it's not very good.
Well, wouldn't it actually be easy?
No, it's pretty hard.
Isn't it essentially what every wedding photographer does is give out the proofs, have the client pick the favorite ones, and then retouch them specifically?
I still wouldn't be giving. Some do. When I was doing weddings, I edited every single proof
I just
before
feel
it
like
went
that's
out.
what most do.
I still wouldn't deliver shitty photos.
Yeah.
Meaning a photo that doesn't belong, just in case. You want to pick the best of the best. I got to move on.
There you go.
Nikola Damjanovic. That's right. Damjanovic.
Definitely not right.
Jamjanovic. How do you tell your clients to respect the time frame that you have set for the photo shoot and in the same time not put them off? Thanks for all of your tutorials in RAWtalk. Really enjoy them. So you set realistic expectations that you let them know that, hey, I will have something for you to see at this time. And if they want it earlier, you say, I set those dates for a reason, because what happens is when you say that you have quick turnaround, what happens when you get really busy and you can't turn it around as quick? That's something that you start to realize as you get more busy. I used to turn weddings around in a week because I didn't have a lot going on. Then it became 3 weeks. But then I would just say I would have it in a month. And generally speaking, I'll have a couple of images for you to look at by the time you're back from your honeymoon. Or while you're on your honeymoon, I'll send you a couple, because it doesn't take long to go through and find a really good one and send it. I forget what the question was. You just tell them to respect your time frame. You just set realistic things. You say, look. You don't say look, because look sounds like you're yelling at them. Look, man, I'll have your wigwam when I'm done with it. You just
When I say so.
you just tell them, look, I will have these in about a week. If I get them done sooner, I will let you know, but don't fucking bother me. Basically,
I mean, and I would also give them a bigger timeline than what you really think is
right.
realistic. Yeah, not deliver. What's the word?
Under promise,
Promise,
over
over
deliver.
deliver.
That's it. Yeah.
It's currently 3:07. and 70 degrees, partly cloudy with a high of 70 with a low of 50. They need to update
they
the
fixed
high.
the 70. It was at 68 for the high.
Oh,
Yeah.
it was? Oh, that's
Yeah.
because we've attained that today. 90% battery life.
Oh, thanks for the update.
Scott Eisenbest. Beisenbeisc. I have a gig coming up in July, best paying one yet. Both parties have signed the contract, a part of which states 1/3 of the negotiated amount is due, along with the signed contract to book the dates. 3 communications later, still no deposit. What do I do? To be honest, I can't afford to lose a job, but I also don't want to set the precedent that I can be walked on not serious about representation. What would you guys do? 3 communications later, have you tried to get them on the phone? You have to find a reason. And plus, if you can't talk to them before the shoot, maybe something's wrong. Do the shoot, get there, and say, "Hey, you guys, kind of owe me money. I'm here because we signed a contract. I need to get paid something." You don't want to leave them high and dry. If you're there to do the shoot, and then don't deliver it until they pay you. You got to play that game. Don't deliver the stuff that they need until they pay you.
Yep.
Jason,
Hold the images hostage.
basically. Jason Pastrick. It's not really hostage. I know what you're saying, though.
Yeah.
Jason Patrick, what's your quick and dirty elevator pitch you give to ensure quality images from a brand new photographer shooting with you for the first time? I shoot events at my base, Army base, because I had to look it up, where having a second shooter is helpful, but may only have 5 or 10 minutes to brief someone who has never touched a DSLR before. Thanks a bunch. Keep doing the great things you do. There is no quick and dirty elevator pitch that I could give a person who has never touched a camera before in 5 to 10 minutes to make sure that they stay out of my way and get photos. I don't think they're going to end up with quality stuff. You throw it in auto or aperture priority and you let it rip. If that's going to be the case, if push comes to shove and you need that second person, aperture priority, set it on matrix metering, tell them not to touch anything, set it at like F4 or whatever.
Shoot JPEG.
Don't shoot JPEG and just let them shoot. But there is no quick and dirty to that. I wouldn't have them shoot if they had no idea what they were doing unless they were forced to do it. And if it's your job to train them, then good luck. Nathaniel Paget. Padgett. Paget. I've been shooting live events in my small hometown of 1,400 plus people for the past 3 years, mainly of high school athletic events, but not many people seem interested in buying prints or sponsoring my work. Does that mean it's just too small of a town and not a market for photography of this type? When to call it quits? Well, I don't know the quality of the work. First, it starts with that, but if the quality of the work is fine, I think the answer comes down to every mom and dad has a camera. Everybody has a cell phone. Everybody has pictures, and they don't feel that your pictures need to be bought because they think they already can do it.
Yeah.
That's where we live. That's why I don't shoot sport events anymore, is because that mom has a camera for the team that just gives their stuff away. Yes, my photos will be better. Guaranteed they will be better. But sometimes people equate free as being better than better. Matt Porter. Howdy. Froen Stevens.
Hey.
I have been shooting for a number of years and I am getting ready to launch a Squarespace website. Insert plug here. Go to squarespace.com/fro to get 10% off. Check out Squarespace 7. I am in a wheelchair and I'm trying to decide how to market myself. Do I mention that I am disabled on the site or not? My greatest fear is that someone hires me for a job and then I end up not being able to do it after I arrive because of the lack of wheelchair access. But I also fear that nobody will hire me for the exact same reason. Any advice would be greatly appreciated.
Very
I wish
good
I could ask
question.
Jaleel this question.
Me too.
You can't not. I think what you do is you put a picture of yourself on the website, shooting in an environment, in your wheelchair, and if people ask a question, then they go ahead. I will not stand up right now at Apple Watch.
Does it tell you that?
Yeah.
When you're just static for a while?
When you're sitting for a while, it tells you it's good to stand up. Shut up, Apple Watch. Stupid thing. I got to turn that off because I don't want to stand up when it tells me to stand up.
Yeah,
Stand up.
Does it just keep vibrating or?
It tings you once every 4 hours.
Okay, that's not bad. It's
Pinky
nice to have,
you.
though, if you're in a work environment and you're
It
just
is.
constantly at your
and
desk.
I have an up desk, and I still don't stand up. You have to put it out there because you have to put it out there. It's just the nature of the beast. Somebody just texted me. But that's just how it is. Did you raise your hand or did
Yes.
you raise your fist again like Black Power?
I raised something in between, I'm sure. What if it wasn't on the site, but after you booked a job, you gave kind of a heads up or someone was interested? Like, hey, is there wheelchair access because blah, 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 blah. So you're not like shooting yourself in the foot.
You're not shooting yourself in the foot, but you have to make sure that you're able to do the job. If they're going in a hot air balloon and they want photos of their proposal in a hot air balloon,
But I
it may
think
be
you would
difficult.
know when they were booking if it was in a hot air balloon. You know what I mean?
But then you have to make them aware. So he's asking, should he put it there? I
Yeah.
think that you just have a picture of yourself with your gear doing work or smiling or doing something, and you are absolutely going to lose jobs.
You definitely need to put something there.
But you're absolutely going to lose jobs.
You are.
And there's no
Well,
way
there's
around
some jobs
it.
that you just can't do.
Right,
physically.
and some people just feel like you're not capable. But again, if your work is quality and your work is worth it, it's very hard. It's very
is.
hard. There's no way around it. You can't sugarcoat this. You have to put it out there, and you just make people aware. Like Jaleel does weddings.
Yeah.
He makes sure that he can do what he can do. It's difficult, but you just have to be honest, because you don't want to get there and then do a disservice because you can't shoot because it's not prepared. I wouldn't not hire somebody if their quality work people do quality work, then they're going to get hired. Chris Culnane III. When photographing someone underage, do you always need a parent guardian to come if the underage person is able to drive to the location of the shoot? That's a good question. I
That is
think
a good question.
as a male photographer, I'm not going to say so much as a female photographer, because here we go with
Just opened up that hole.
look, absolutely. Somebody's underage and you're a male. First and foremost, I'm going to start there with the male photographers. I don't care how old you are, except if you're 16 and they're 16. I think when you're friends and the same age,
I think peers are a couple of years. There's no issue.
right. But if you're a 34-year-old photographer with an afro and somebody's like, hey, can you photograph my 17-year-old or 16-year-old daughter? Yeah, I can photograph them. You better be there. It's just to protect yourself. You have to protect yourself.
Are you giving them a release form?
Well,
Like
if you're having a
for
release, the
parent to
guardian
sign,
has to
or
sign.
do you just want the parent
No,
to
the
show
parent
up?
has to be there.
I'm just
No,
throwing this out
parent
there.
has to be there. Underage, got to be there. Unless they're peers. It's a different animal when they're
is.
close to the
It
same
is.
age, but you still have to protect yourself. You can't put yourself into a situation where you could be accused of stuff.
Yeah.
Wrongly accused of stuff. Mukesh Barmeta. If you were hiring a photographer to be part of your team to shoot an event for you, what qualities would you look for, and what would be your expectations of that person? I'm looking for 1, do they do quality work above everything else? 2, can you get along with them? This goes back to that question earlier. If I can't get along with the person I'm going to hire because we just don't mesh together, like maybe we had a person named Breslin on our video shoot who was sitting. Why'd you give me the eyeballs? I'm calling him out.
Don't throw out names.
Breslin sitting over there. I liked him. I did like him, and he did good work. It's just that he would sit on his chair with his headphones in while supposed to be paying attention to the video shoot. That's a no-no. And if I choose not to work with him because of that again, is that bad? I would still hire him, but I would definitely be like, dude, leave your phone at home.
Yeah.
And if you don't pay attention, you will be fired. You'll get another chance. But don't do that to me again. Was that part of the question?
I don't think
Look,
so.
I think part of it is you have to get, what do I look for when hiring somebody? Quality work. Can you get along with them? Because if you're traveling the world with, you and I are traveling together, if we didn't get along, it wouldn't work out.
If we don't get
butted
along,
heads,
though.
if we butted heads and we couldn't travel, we've traveled the world together, we've roomed together,
Yeah.
we can get along.
Oh, yeah.
If you can't,
Oh, we've roomed together, all right.
exactly. If you can, then you're not going to hire the person. It's just not the right fit.
Yeah.
You just say, sorry, it's not
Sorry,
the right
I'm
fit.
not sorry.
Colin Thacker. Hi, Jared. I've been following you for some time.
What happened?
He's following me? Well, that's what I was...
That went
I
way
thought like
over
you
my
heard
head.
something. It was like squirrel.
No. Following you for some time now, and the one question I have is this. I have an 8-year-old son who keeps trying to use my Nikon D7100 and the D7000 when we go out. He says it gets heavy and I can't see that it has trouble. Wait. He says it gets heavy and I can see that he has trouble with his little hands. What SLR or DSLR would you recommend for an 8-year-old that just loves going out and taking photos?
I don't think I'd recommend a DSLR.
Well, There are lighter cameras. He's using a D7100 and 7000. I don't think they're heavy bodies. I think little hands. I would look at maybe a Nikon 1 system.
Yeah.
Or a Canon G7 or whatever the hell they're up to, G12, G17, G whatever. Something that you can put into his hands that are going to fit his little hands that he can go shoot photos.
I think they're on the G16 Mark II.
Ugh.
Dude, it's
They
like
just-
every half a year they come out with a
They
new
just have
version of
another
that
one.
camera.
That, I mean, even something like an old D70 or a D40 or a D3000 is like shooting with air.
I was gonna
if
say,
that
you're-
can't fit in his hands,
That 3300
he has
you
really
have
little hands.
is like a toy.
Right, like you could find a D3100 with an 18 to 55,
It's
or you
light.
put a 35-1/8 that's a piece of plastic on it, and you're good to go.
Yeah.
So I think that's what you need to take into consideration. There, it's just a smaller body with a smaller lens. Pancake lenses. If you wanted a Canon, they have the pancake lenses. They almost weigh nothing. So that's what I got.
I think you should give him a 1DX with a 7200.
You're a dick. Adam Gibb, how do you balance your private life with all the work you do on shoots? RAWtalk and all the crazy amounts of work you seem to do. Private life?
You
I
have
just
a
work.
private life?
I just work. Seriously, everything revolves around work. Even when it's not work, whoever I'm with just has to understand that.
Well, you're going to New York soon, aren't you?
Yeah, that's not work, unfortunately. I mean,
I can tell you're excited.
yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it. Alex Asbaki, Villarreal. Oh, 3 names. Question for Stephen Butter.
Oh man.
How and where are you looking for contacts to sponsor some of your traveling photography? You have 1 minute.
How and where? How, as of right now, I've only contacted 2 different companies, and I got their contact information via email, so I sent them both emails. No response yet. I need to follow up. And it was how and
Why?
why,
I
or
think-
how and
No, how and where?
where? And where do I want
Where'd
to
you
go?
find their
Aniston?
emails?
I was referred to them.
Somebody
So-
gave you the emails.
Someone gave me the emails.
If you don't have the emails, you go on the website, find their emails.
Exactly. You
About
just-
section.
About section.
Contact us.
You don't have their emails, tweet them. You don't have their Twitter, call them. You don't have their phone, tweet them.
the circle of Twitter. Call, tweet,
Seriously,
call, tweet.
All right, good answer.
Twitter's
Thanks.
awesome.
That answered it.
So basically, I've been emailing personally. I haven't tried phone yet. I was going to just try email first and then get them on the phone. If it's easier when there's a paper trail for me to keep track of things.
I'm the same way. Yeah.
Oscar Trevino Rodriguez. Oscar Trevino Rodriguez. What is your opinion on being a vendor or advertising on thenot.com? Do you think it's worth it? I am in San Antonio, Texas. Thenot.com, no. I mean, I think the best place to spend your money for wedding photography is finding quality bridal expos and bridal shows, because nothing is going to put you in front of more potential clients in person to make the sale than that. The Knot is just you're paying for a listing, and it's a list among 100 other listings instead of having 5 photographers at a bridal event that you're trying. I spend my money there. And you want to talk about not discrimination, but you're meeting these people in person. Sometimes for weddings, I haven't had a bridezilla. I didn't run into a bridezilla because I don't think I would have meshed with that person in the forefront.
Yeah.
If you don't think you're going to mesh with somebody for a wedding and you're not the right fit, it's just not going to work.
Yeah.
And that's
Don't
the
say
thing.
yes
Well,
to the
don't say
dress.
right. Well, don't say yes if somebody is just giving you so much trouble before you even sign the contract. You can say, "I'm sorry, the date is booked."
Yep.
Because you know, if somebody's emailing you and calling you and being really, 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 I really, 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 really like you. I do. Do you want me? Because I want you to hold on me right in time. I don't want to work with them because it's just not the right fit. There's nothing wrong with that. That's not discrimination. That's just you're not going to get along with them, so you know this already.
Yeah.
It's not the right fit. So no, I wouldn't do that. That's the end of the flying solo questions.
Cool.
Gears of the week. Multiple gears of the week.
Gears.
Yeah. Keep talking.
Gears of the week. I think we have
We'll start
Dos
with this.
Equis Gears of the week.
Yeah,
This
two
week.
gears of the week. Well, I want you to just stand over there until I tell you what to do. Yeah, just play with your Burt Reynolds. Hoya finally got in the mail a couple of things. Hoya, they call it EVO, extra virgin olive oil.
Evo?
Oh, Evolution Filter Series, anti-static. These are the water stain resistant and super multi-coating. And what that means, I'm reading it on the back. It says new anti-static coating repels dust, water, and oil repellent, scratch and satin resistant.
Wow. Resistant to everything.
Scratch and stain resistant. So one of the tests I'm going to do is Sharpie.
Oh.
I'm going to see if I can do the Sharpie, and if it wipes off, success. I used to use the Hoya multi-coated filters when I used filters. This is the UV filter. This is a circular polarizer, 77. This should be in your bag if you do landscapes and you're looking to punch up your sky. Circular polarizer. They also sent us a variable density filter. This has a lot of stops. I don't know how many, but this is a 77.
Very cool.
And I got I got an 82. So here it is. Like, this is an 82 millimeter. If you have a lens that is 82 millimeter opening in the front, that means it's big. Do you need to buy a 77 also for your other lenses? No. Get a step-down ring. A step-down ring that takes your 82 to 77 so that you can still use it. So buy a bigger one. Don't buy a smaller one. Even if you have 55 millimeters or 52 millimeter openings, get a 62 millimeter. Get a 77. Especially if you have that. You may not be able to go from 77 to 52 in a step-down, but get a step-down ring. So check out the Hoya stuff. They sent us a bunch of these because they are a new sponsor. And we are going to use these on our coming trips.
Definitely.
We've got that, the circular polarizers, the UV, the scratch resistant. I want to check this out.
I'm excited for that test.
We're going to do that test, and we'll do it. And then the other thing are the Kenko, not Kinko, extension tubes. Oh, I was like, why is Sutter over there? These are extension tubes, and for most people, they don't really know what extension tubes are. They're inexpensive ways to get close focus. Won't say macro because it's close focus. And what's cool about them is they have there's different...
Just keep stacking and stacking.
You can stack them, and that means you get... This is a 12 meter, this is a 20 meter, and this is... millimeter, and this is a 36 millimeter DG made in Japan. But what's cool about it, you can put your finger right through it. Because all it's really doing... And it actually has digital contact, so it's still going to meter, which is interesting.
Yeah.
The old ones that they used to make didn't have contacts on them. Oh, that means it can auto... It can autofocus because it has the for Nikon, because this is Nikon.
These are the nice tube extensions.
Yeah. Because all I remember is the old ones that just went on as tube extenders.
It's literally just an extension of your lens.
Exactly. Check these out. Inexpensive. I don't know if there's like $100 for all three, but
that's not bad.
No, it's not bad if you want to get close focus, and they just snap in like that, and that is that. So that's the Hoya stuff, and that's also Kenko, Tokina.
Todd would love that. He's all about extension tubes.
So if you do use filters, check out the Hoyas, especially the the circular polarizers and the I almost said VD, which is a disease. And we have, what else is back here? Bring me a head, please. Bring me some head. We had a photo shoot, and we may do another photo shoot. But this is a D1 Pro photo. Stay over there for me. Just bring up some of the octas and parables and stuff like that, and just hold them up and get closer to the... Yeah, just get closer to the thing. This is the Pro Photo D1 head. We got a whole kit of this, and a lot of people think that the Pro Photo stuff is out of their price range, which some of it is, like $14,000 for a pack.
Oh, yeah.
But this is a mono light. I think you can get the D1 kit for something like $2,000. These lights are freaking awesome. They have fans built in them to keep them, not to keep them quiet, but to keep them cool.
Yeah.
So they're pretty
Fast
small,
recycling.
self-contained. They are fast recycling. Richie was telling me that these will do 10 frames a second.
I believe it.
And they come with a digital... remote thing that you put into your hot shoe. What is that? That's just a thing.
It's like a reflector.
Yeah, it's just a reflector. There's strip boxes. There's the parable. What's this one called again? An Octabox. That's cool. Bring the Octabox up. Show people the Octabox. The Octabox is awesome. What a nice light you get out of it. It wraps it so nicely around people's faces. Maybe I'll get Maria in and we'll do a photo shoot with these.
There you go.
Bring Richie in to set it up, and then I'll do the shooting of Maria. We'll just go to town doing a full setup with these Pro Photo D1s. But look up the D1s. These things are awesome. I have old White Lightnings, which is what I bought. But these D1 kits that come in a kit with a bag, with a roller, and the stands, let's do the wheel, are really awesome. What? I don't know. I don't know if it's 3 heads or not. I don't know what the exact price was. I think it was $2,000 or so, but we need to look up the D1 kit, and then we can find out from there. What was that noise? Oh. So we need to spin the wheel of Fro. I am going to pick this week somebody and then let you know after I pick it. Let's go around the wheel. We've got Rode Microphone, who so happens to be the sponsor of this week's RAWtalk. Don't forget about myroadreel.com to go there to enter to win $200,000 in prizes across 19 categories.
That's a lot of categories.
I remember how many. Oh my God, did you hear that? It did it again because it bounces the noise back into my ear. Wow, it's so different. Anyway, go to Rode. They have been supporting, well, you know what I say each week, Rode microphones. Question mark. If it lands on that, you get anything you want on the wheel except for the grand prize. Borrow lenses, $250 in credit to get some stuff. Fro prize lands on my face. You get my face. You get something. Plastic printers, 250 free plastic printer business cards. Videoblocks.com. Go to videoblocks.com/go/fro. Squarespace.com/fro. When I give you these affiliate links with the /goes and /fros or just /fros, they make that company aware that you found out about them through us, and that helps support us to keep on doing everything that we do.
Yeah.
Black Rapid, get a free Black Rapid strap. We got Rode microphone again. We've got the DJ. I did it again.
Every
We've got the
time.
Rode. No, we've got the
Atomos.
Atomos Ninja 2, worth $600. If it lands on that, I would like it to land on that. We've got Adorama picks. Get some free stuff. Don't forget about the code PXFRO35MD to get 35% off before May 16th on photo books. My face again. Think Tank Photo. Get an awesome bag. Audio Blocks, which is where we pick each week the different audio that Steven's been using during the show. Go to audioblocks.com/go/fro to get your free trial. Squarespace again. Lightroom for the Creative Cloud for Photo Bundle. I am going to pick. Should I say who I'm going to pick now?
Let's spin.
You want to
first,
spin first?
then pick. Yeah.
Spin, then pick?
Yes.
I usually pick, then spin, but all right. Sutter, what time is it?
Wheel of Fro.
I'm not even going to look. Around and around it goes. Where it stops, nobody knows. The Wheel of Fro is going to stop on something this week.
Don't look.
What? You're not looking?
We're not looking.
Oh, we're not looking?
Don't look.
I don't want to look. I mean, I can't even see the wheel. All right. 3, 2, 1, look. Rode microphone! Congratulations. And we're going to go out to Colin Thacker's son, who's 8.
Oh. He's going to get a microphone.
You're going to get a microphone to add weight to your camera. Colin Thacker, if your son wants the Frono's Photo Guide to getting out of auto or something, I will do that too. I'll
8.
give you both. Maybe he wants to play with video and do microphones.
Okay.
Was that bad?
I mean, he's a little young, that's all.
Start him early,
What
man.
do you mean he's young to have a microphone?
Not to have a microphone to watch your guide and everything.
Why is he too young to watch my
8
guide?
years old? What are you, like second grade?
Dude, I teach like Mr. freaking Rogers. I teach it like Mr. McFeely is here.
Just throwing it out there.
I think you're wrong. He's wrong, right?
He can save it if he's not old enough, okay?
My guide is geared toward... I don't curse in the guide at all.
I'm not saying
Why are
anything
you
about
ripping
that.
on me?
You should give him all the guides so he's ready for the rest of
I'm
his
going to
life.
give you the rated X guide. How to
the
shoot...
Fro below mount.
that
Anyone
is
remember
so
that?
uncalled for.
What do you mean?
I can't believe you did that. Do we have anything else to talk about?
No. It's a long show, so I think we should wrap it up.
You should always wrap it up, Steven.
Wow. That is
Hey, you got me
unbelievable.
on this mindset. I'm stuck.
I didn't get you on any mindset.
Oh,
So I want to thank Inspector Dale Cooper for coming in today. He's over there sleeping or something. Thank you for Rode for this week's sponsor. Don't forget about going to myroadreel.com, and don't forget that it landed on Rode today. We didn't even look. I can't make these things up. Wasn't our fault.
Nope.
It just is what it is. So, Apple Watch, GoPro Hero 4 stuff. I hope you enjoy your watch.
I hope I do. Thank you.
You better enjoy your damn watch. Don't lose it or break it.
I'm going to go and sell it right after this
Don't
episode.
sell it. I'll return it.
No, man.
I was
thank
gonna
you. That's
return
awesome.
it,
That's awesome.
but I was just like, I already bought it. The business bought it.
I'm totally gonna rock it.
So yeah, it's like a bonus gift. Thank you.
Thank you.
For your hard work.
I try.
Now I can secretly get in touch with him whenever I want.
That's really why he said it.
I can send him my heartbeat. He can feel my heart beating.
Oh god.
I'll be in bed at night and I'll be sending Steven. You know Todd would do that. Todd would be like, Steven, you feel my heartbeat?
Oh, he'd be sending me
I'm on the
very
toilet.
awkward pictures.
That's what he would do. Steven.
I'm talking to you.
Dude, I got a voicemail from Todd the other day. It was
showed me.
It was I showed you. It was Jared.
Jared.
No.
Jared.
Jared. And that was it.
Heavy breathing.
And that was it. That was it. All right, guys. You can find all the photo news stories and more at fronosphoto.com/rawtalk-131. You can't screw it up this week unless you put a 3 before the 1 or after the 1 because it's right in the middle, 131. Sutter, thank you for your input. Eckert, thank you for your input.
Thank you.
And that is where we're going to leave this episode. Jared Polin, fronosphoto.com. See ya.